That was a pretty good shit too.
It
You
was
didn't
it
like that
pretty
shit?
good?
I liked it. He had a Bone Crusher on there. Solomon Childs was going off. I thought. Hold on, let's go get to another one.
Solomon,
Sweatsuit
shout
drop.
out Solomon Childs. He
He's a good dude,
always
yo.
snaps whenever he raps, man.
Trinity.
Shout
Oh
out
yeah, we was on a
Solomon
song with
Childs.
him. Yeah, we did a song with him. I forgot.
Oh, straight up, I need to hear that, man.
No, we did. We did. We on the God song. We're on that
Oh,
song.
he's on Gods. That's right, he is on Gods.
Yeah, how did we forget that?
Fuck, bro. Hey, man, shit. It's not well.
Yeah.
Here, let me, pardon the body, Joe. But what I'm saying, I mean, like, it's not like we recorded that all in the same place at the same time.
Nah, we
See,
didn't.
let
Not
me
at
tell
all.
you something about
No, and you're
Lukey, man.
7 hours
Lukey,
ahead of us right now too.
I
So
am in the future. I am in the future. But yeah,
Good shit.
Lukey, Lukey, the type of dude that be like, yeah, 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 we go, just record this verse or whatever. Next thing you know, you on a song with all types of illustrious motherfuckers. You're like, oh, I didn't even know I was on that song. Thanks.
You are now listening to the Abyss Podcast with Carl the White Monk, Primo Jab, and Lukey Cage. I can't hear nothing. Oh, this is 104, huh?
Hey,
104,
my man.
Yeah,
104,
we're gonna
issues,
brother.
episodes, yeah.
Yeah, both, all the above.
True indeed, true indeed. We're gonna get right into it, yo. This is a special solo edition of the Abyss podcast. How you doing, Carl?
I am doing fantastic. Representing
True indeed.
Mondo Slade.
I see that
and his
Mondo
amazing
shirt.
merch.
True indeed.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Got new
Mondo be
music
rapping.
out too.
yeah. He be rapping circles around niggas, yo. And I never know what the fuck he gonna say. I just texted him a second ago too. Like he really
He's
is.
a fun rapper, man. He's a fun dude who really
He's a great
takes a lot of time with his craft and tries to say extravagant ill shit, man. Salute to Mondo, man.
He does so much of that himself too. Like, he puts in a
it's
lot
all
of
him.
work. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, amazing.
Yeah, you see his numbers looking a lot better too on the gram, yo. So let's get like Mondo, yo. Primo Jab, cool shirt. How you doing, bro?
I'm in it, man. I'm all right. I'm doing great, man. Had to represent for two seminal albums. My personal favorite album, one of them of all time, Only Built for Cuban Links. But then also can't forget part two, Only Built for Cuban Links part two. It came out of nowhere during a time when things were bleak and people were talking about all types of, oh, hip hop is dead and oh, this shit is whack. Nah, B.
True indeed.
Part two. Shout out Raekwon and Ghostface forever.
True indeed. True indeed. Shout out to Ghetto Fabulous, the album as well. Anyway, this album
Fuck
is
Ghetto Fabulous.
this episode issue.
Respectfully though, because Fabulous definitely got we gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. Absolutely.
True indeed. True indeed. This episode is dedicated to whenever people were saying hip hop was dead, but it wasn't. It was alive and well. Here's the take on it. A lot of people said that because it wasn't played on the radio. From LimeWire to MySpace to MegaShare to what else was out there? MediaFire. There's folders being put out there
Angel
all the
Fire.
time. Yes, there's music was in a period kind of like how they went from analog to digital. How you got it and how you digested it was getting different. iTunes, that was a big part of the change of hip hop. So a lot of the stuff was buyer direct, even though you still could get CDs at Best Buy. Sam Goody's were closing, FYEs were closing. There was a period of time where it was hard to get the music to the consumer, but there was still places to buy music and get your hip hop. But it was not played on the radio. It got marketed to a different fan base. I guess people started realizing they can make more money making a different type of music than what was put out. There was hardly any more knowledge of music anymore. There was definitely a dry period of hip hop, but it was because you had to digest it and consume it in a different way. And now we've got to go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I think you make a very good point right there, man. It's like there was a time when things changed as far as how you consume music or how you find music. And I think there were a lot of people who wanted to be stubborn and be like, oh no, that's not that's not real, or I'm not embracing this change.
True
But I
indeed.
mean, change is the only constant that exists in the universe, in the world, right? So
True.
like you know, that again, like Lukey was just saying, that's exactly what we here to talk about and really address and give flowers to a lot of people that were really keeping this thing alive during a
Mm-hmm.
turbulent time, a time of transition when a lot of people gave up and were
Mm-hmm.
like, okay,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm only listening to older stuff, right? You know, I'm only listening to Cuban links up to 95 or whatever the case
Mm-hmm.
is. Or they
Yeah, they
were
really did
deciding
give
I'm
up. Yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean? Or they were deciding, oh, I'm only listening to everything past this point. Like it was new listeners jumping in. So it's an inflection point, right?
Yeah, I
It's a
forgot
point
so
when
much
things
shit.
change. It's all right. We're gonna talk
Yeah,
about it, man. We got
yeah, but
time,
I'm
man. We
pretty
only
sure
like
you
two
got it.
minutes in. We only two
Because when you
minutes in,
said
man.
this, because you said this, yeah, you said this. I totally forgot to write down
No, I'm
other stuff.
excited
Oh,
about
check
this
it out.
episode, man.
Uh,
I'm super
me,
excited.
me too. But I really didn't. I really wanted to come into this not having notes and just
Mm,
went off how I
yeah,
felt.
yeah,
But I couldn't do that. Here, I have like the blood in the Bible, one page
yeah,
full, 2 pages full, three, 4, 5, 6 pages full of notes that I
yeah.
wrote down from 2003 to Fly God. You know what
Oh
I'm
wow, you
saying?
went. I only
So,
went from 2009 until 2016 or 17 ish, and I
well,
still have
2000,
like about 12 pages worth of things to say, to talk about, or things to touch on.
well,
Pause.
2003, yeah, 2003, they still had a good contingency, a good, um, I guess, mix of stupid stuff and good stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think 2004, that's whenever things got weird. I think Chingy came around in
Well, see,
Slum Village. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't even go that far back, man. Like I said, I had been basing this off of the comment that Nas said, or not even the comment, but the album. You know,
But they're
December.
saying it before that. They're saying it
Yeah,
way before that.
I mean, but that's the thing. I think you can find people that have always talked about it, and I think that's going to be the theme of what we're talking about right now. You can always find people from a generation prior, or from not even a generation, but let's say an era prior, because hip hop, I think a lot of people don't understand that hip hop within one decade, there are probably two or three eras within a
I've
single
changed.
decade.
Yeah. It
Right, you know what I mean?
sounds,
There's so much there.
and it
There's
might be even
so
more than
many
that because
sounds. Yeah,
regional.
exactly. It depends. Yeah, it depends on what's happening in certain years. But that's why I said I was basing it on 26 or 2009 ish, when Nas put out "Hip Hop Is Dead" and made that statement. And I think you had a lot of people that were saying either "No, you're wrong" or "Yeah, you're right." So
Uh,
that's what
yeah.
I've been kind of running with.
But Carl, who is not Big Ghost in Primo Jab, because Carl, I say Carl's not Big Ghost. One of the Big Ghost's favorite albums, who I've seen him post this on his page before, is The Owners. You know what I'm saying? By
Mm,
Gangstar. The
by
album right
Gangstar,
there,
yeah,
they're making
yeah.
fun of a certain sound. Hiney, the bitch said, put it in my hiney. It passed that.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, they're making fun of that, and they're making fun of that sound. And that's like is to me one of the most hip hopist. Because I think Premier, when I think of hip hop, I think of that Premier sound. I think of Premier
Absolutely.
sound. So
Absolutely.
that was the last Gangstar album in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? All
The
that stuff he
Owners.
did with, yeah. I don't
I
consider the
think
new
Moment of,
stuff.
personally, I think Moment of Truth was the last Gangstar album that I really was
The
like
Owners
thinking
was
like, yo,
fire. You didn't
really?
like the Owners? You
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 know, I'm indifferent to it, I think. Like I said, Moment of Truth was the one that was really like, yo, this is it. But the
that was
Owners,
yeah.
it
Go
was
back and
okay.
listen to
Cause
that.
correct me if I'm wrong, but that's after Guru died, right?
That's before Guru died.
Is
That was
that right when
yeah.
Guru died?
No, years later when he got linked up with Solar, uh,
Fuck
uh,
Solar.
yeah, pause. Yeah, we used to say for no
Yeah,
homo, no
yeah.
Solar.
No,
Yeah,
ain't no
shout out to
pause for
Omega
that. Fuck
Jackson.
Solar.
Hey yo, pause. Hey yo, we used to say uh no Solar for no homo. Me and Omega Jackson. Yeah, he's a weird dude. But he got paid off that how you say it, the post whatever, post-mortem.
Yeah, the
Uh,
post-mortem era of Guru. Absolutely.
Yeah,
He's an
the one with J.
exploiter.
Cole.
posthumously.
He's a
There you go.
posthumously. He's a culture
Yeah,
vulture. Solar ain't
yeah.
shit. You know what I
He's not,
mean?
yo.
Like he is definitely the lowest type of person
Mm.
that exists.
Word.
He's an exploiter and
Yeah,
he's definitely a bloodsucker of the poor.
yeah.
Fuck him.
So boom, you went to 2009, but let me go
Yeah.
back to 2003 and show you what the fuck was dropping then and what was on the radio, what we
Okay.
listened to on the radio.
You go then and
Back
then I'll
this
hop in.
this is to me one of the I love this year. Joe Budden came out. Go ahead.
Well, before you get into the list, I want it noted because not everybody's going to go back to like the first episode.
Yeah.
Mm.
So for me, as a hip hop head, I had stopped listening around that time because I had also started playing drums in 2001. And in that, I started studying not just heavy metal, which I ended up playing, but fusion jazz and a lot of different things. 80s rock. I was playing in cover bands and shit. And in studying all of that other stuff to learn how to play the drum parts on all of those different, types of music, if it wasn't readily available and decent, then I wasn't listening to it. And I didn't take any time to search. So there was a huge chunk of this that I wasn't really there for. And I will say, just as much homework as I do, I'm still trying to catch up on current artists and like what's going on in the underground. So, there's going to be some of this that, I'm not going to be familiar with at all.
And that's great because a lot of people,
great. Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of people did that. A lot of people didn't listen to this from 2003 to 2016, even to 2023. People stopped listening to hip hop. There's still people right now who have not even heard of West Side Gun or Benny the Butcher, or Conway the Machine.
Absolutely.
Now it's like I don't even want to put them on the Conway and those because the best stuff is like 5-6 years ago. I'll
even say this: you tell them Ransom, and they're like, "Oh yeah, the guy that raps with Joe Budden." And you like, "No, yeah, that's him." But it's like, no, Ransom really been out here going crazy in the recent era. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
But Carl, you're gonna see some of these and be like, yeah, I know a lot more than what you don't think you know. Because definitely,
Absolutely. So you know a bunch.
Yeah, definitely. So in 2003, Joe Budden came out. Pump It Up. You know what I'm saying? That to me is like one of the poppiest. Come on, man. Let me get my point across here. That was one of the.
That's cool. That's just a footnote to your point.
That's one of the sports. No. Yeah. That definitely. But that's one of the sports.
Yeah,
pump it up. Yeah. But then on the other hand, Pump It Up on the radio. Also, Black Album that came out that year. Get Rich or Die Trying came out that year. Also, Victor Vaughn, the first Victor Vaughn, King Ghidra came out. The Listening by the Little Brother, Gangstar the Owners, Cunnilingus was still out there. Cunnilingus. People don't the Cunning Linguist. Yeah, Cunning Linguist from Louisville, Kentucky, I believe.
Cunning Linguist.
Southern Underground came out. Yeah, Outkast double album came out that year. J-Lib, Champion Sound came out that year. DMX Grand Champ. Nappy Roots, Wooden Leather. Philadelphia Freeway. I love that album right there, yo.
I love that.
Awesome.
Album. Boy, I love that album. Huh.
It's a pretty
Philadelphia
good
Freeway is a criminally slept on album. I think you had to really be in the culture at that moment to really appreciate Philadelphia Freeway. All My Life with Nate Dogg on it. Oh my God, I remember numerous nights driving drunk listening to that song. I digress. I'm sorry. I'm just saying, man. Yo, hey, shout out Freeway, man. Freeway is a legend, man. Freeway is always gonna be respected out here.
Yeah, that album was almost no skips. They had a couple songs there. Yeah, Absolutely. They had a couple songs. They had a song with Nelly and Snoop Dogg. Nelly had was first song, and then the song with Snoop Dogg sound almost exactly the same. So I was like,
hold on, before you even complete your thought, let's just go ahead and say it right now. Snoop Dogg is going to be a constant thread from eras. Like he's going to cross a lot of lines. Like I think there's going to become a point sometime in the future when people are going to start saying, "Look, Snoop Dogg was the best rapper of all time."
Oh,
and no,
he's not the best rapper, the most iconic rapper. He's Shaquille O'Neal.
Thank you. Thanks for.
That's a good analogy. Actually,
that's a much better analogy because I mean Snoop Dogg his staying power, his iconic nature is undeniable, man. He's a pop.
He's marketing his brand. Yeah,
icon. His brand. All of those words. Snoop Dogg embodies that, and he's survived from the time he came out until today, 2023. Snoop Dogg is still relevant.
He has a cooking show with Martha Stewart and still has street cred.
Talk about it, Carl. Talk about it, Carl. Exactly.
You tell me anybody else that is more of a household name that can move between those cafeteria tables.
You can't.
That dude will golf with politicians. He will do a cooking show with a former prisoner.
Shout out the former federal prisoner Martha Stewart. Down with the culture.
And then
you know what I mean? Like, but he can move in any circle, and has never changed who he is.
Absolutely,
especially on Instagram.
he's the same dude, man. I love his Instagram, man. His Instagram posts are legit.
He's the first Boosie. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more educated Boosie.
Man, is Boosie a cultural icon like that? I don't think so.
To some, yes. Not to us.
Yeah, to some.
No, but
to some,
if you're saying to some, then it's not a cultural icon.
Exactly. Thank you.
But you said
I don't
what
think
culture,
you're
though?
gonna. Well, but that's the thing, though. Like what we were just talking about, just like Carl said, Snoop can move between the lunch tables, and everybody knows. Oh, that's Snoop. Boosie,
you're right.
He can hang out in 6 different lunch tables, but the other 4, he ain't hanging out.
Man, you can't
10.
come over here. Everybody wants
Snoop, and Snoop is a star at every one of those tables.
Absolutely,
He's not accepted.
Absolutely.
He's hoped for.
Oh, it's Snoop.
Sit at our table, Snoop. Sit at our table.
Snoop, yeah, come kick it with us.
That's definitely it. Definitely right. True indeed. True indeed. I definitely fuck with that.
Man.
Not because there's a lot of here, so I'm gonna keep it going, yo.
Yeah,
also, Madlib Shades of Blue. Madlib Shades of Blue, one of the best instrumental albums I think ever. Peanut Butter Wolf, Madlib killed that joint. I can listen to that whole thing all the way through, but it's not a rap album. It's an instrumental album. That's Stone's Throw as well. 2004.
Is it hip-hop?
Whoa! Time out. I gotta stop you again. Shout out Stone's Throw because that was a place. Was Stone's Throw as a label was definitely instrumental in holding shit down during a time when, like you said, people were kind of burnt out on quote unquote hip hop and moving away because of the transition, whatever the case was. But Stone's Throw stayed consistent in putting out a product that was, you know, I mean, I learned it from watching you, Lukey. I learned it from watching you. But no, yeah, Stone's Throw stayed consistent in putting out a product that was geared towards people that appreciated it. So shout out Stone's Throw.
Why did they get so popular?
Why did they get so popular? Well, because I think because there was almost as
do you know, Carl? No, you're not answering right. Carl, do you know?
No,
you're not answering right already.
Peanut Butter Wolf, Madlib, and Doom.
Adult Swim.
Oh yeah. Oh, shout out Adult Swim. Yeah, go crazy, Lukey. I'm gonna shut up.
Yep, that's
crazy,
a fact.
Lukey. Look at
I didn't
that.
think about that.
Shout out Adult Swim.
What it was? Massage Situation by Flying Lotus. One of the my all-time favorite. Know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. They played between the people don't even know that's a real song.
Yeah,
that's not a commercial.
I thought that was just the instrumental. Yeah, I just thought that was instrumental.
That's Flying Lotus, yo.
Mm-hmm.
One of those guys.
There was somebody at Adult Swim that really, really was tapped in musically that made shit happen for them because it's pretty remarkable just what they've done.
So indeed,
the Mouse and the Mask was released from Adult Swim, if I'm not wrong. Danger
Doom.
Yeah, Danger Doom. Yeah.
Also, and I want to say it was like 2011 when I first heard that.
We're
and that was the first Doom I ever heard.
Nice. That's
and
what's
that
up.
came out. The Danger Do album came out earlier than that, though. Correct?
Yeah, I believe so. I
have
want to
it
say
on
like
my-
2009 or something, but I'd have to look
It might
up.
even be before then. Let's look at this. We're going to 2004. The albums that that resonate with me or that I loved or came out. Victor Von 2 came out. That's the when Diplo had the opening song. Shout out to Diplo. Connected by the Foreign Exchange. When Fonte and Nicolay did not ever meet, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's great," but we've been doing that since 2000. I forget. Well, that year we were doing that, sending files over. Remember, we used to send files over AOL Messenger, stuff like that. But anyway, Jadakiss,
I wasn't tapped into that.
Yeah, I was tapped in because my homies. Jadakiss, Kiss of Death, Roots, The Tipping Point, Food, and Mad Villain came out.
Okay.
The same year.
That was 2004?
2004. I believe it says 2004.
Yeah.
Yes, this 2004 on here. Also,
because Mouse and the Mask came out 2005.
Then boom. Matter of fact, do I got it? Yeah, Danger Doom. Yeah, that's there you go. I see it right there, 2005.
Cool.
So
Sorry.
what else? Yeah. I didn't think I wrote it down. So I had to look to see it did.
That's what you got notes for, bro. That's what you got notes for.
College Dropout came out and it changed a lot of people.
Now you're talking that Kanye talk. See, and exactly. Go ahead, man. Because Kanye, when he came out, definitely was the mark of, I think, the start of a new era. Absolutely.
Yes. In that year, the other albums that
I didn't feel College Dropout personally, man. I thought that shit was garbage.
I already heard those songs like in an academic level music.
Yeah, I didn't think it was garbage. Like I said, I just kind of felt like it was okay. I mean, I liked the song with Freeway on it. You know, Put Your Hands Up. I liked
2 words. That's 2 words. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 words. Yeah, 2 words was the shit. There were a couple joints on there, but I mean, I wasn't really fucking with Kanye until Late Registration. So the next album, and then going forward from that, like Late Registration, My Beautiful Dark Nightmare, and Graduation, like that.
We're gonna get to those, and that's going to be one of the reasons why hip hop is dying even more. Yeah,
there's so much to cover, Lukey.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
Shout out 50 Cent.
True indeed. But that year, also 2004, Ghostface is still on his run. He dropped 718, the Theater Unit. That was a pretty good shit too. You didn't like that shit? Good? I liked it. He had a Bone Crusher on there. Solomon Childs was going off. I thought. Hold on, let's go get to another one.
Shout out Solomon Childs. He always snaps whenever he raps, man. You know,
we was on a song with him. Yeah, we did a song with him. I forgot.
Oh, straight up? I need to hear that, man.
No, we did. We on the God song. We're on that song.
Oh, he's on God's. That's right. He is on God's.
Yeah, how did we forget that?
Bro, hey, man, shit. It's not, well, here, let me, pardon the body, Joe. But what I'm saying, I mean, like, it's not like we recorded that all in the same place at the same time.
Nah, we didn't.
See, let me tell you something about
No, and
Lukey,
you're 7 hours ahead of us right now, too. So.
I am in the future. But yeah, Lukey, Lukey the type of dude that be like, yeah, we go, just record this verse or whatever. Next thing you know, you on a song with all types of illustrious motherfuckers. You're like, oh, I didn't even know I was on that song. Thanks. Yeah, man. Shout out Solomon Child.
Oh, yeah. Recognize Ali on that shit, too. Big up. Yeah, that's my guy right there, yo. Boom. Also, one of the other albums that I like, Pretty Tony dropped, but 718 was on there. Grind Date. Purple Haze.
Oh, the Grind Date's good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Purple Haze by Cameron. I love that album. Detroit Deli.
I love Purple
Let's
Haze.
see. Encore. The biggest albums were, no, I got to say this, too. Even though this album has a lot of skips for me, but I still kind of liked it. This Week by Jean Grey, 2004. We have what?
Again, you can't, regardless of if we are fans of it or not, let's not take away from what Jean Grey was doing when she came out. Jean Grey.
That's why I said it. That's why I put it on there.
Mm-hmm. No, and I appreciate that and I recognize that. That's why I wanted to pause that, is because Jean Grey, ain't no pauses with Jean Grey. So look, she is somebody who is serious about her craft, and she takes control of the microphone and goes to work. She handles business, man. And she never was to Carl. Like, Carl has kind of coined this to me, like when we were talking to Chum. You know, she's just a woman who happens to be an MC. That's who Jean Grey is. So, you know, you can
Jean Grey
never.
picks bad beats though.
She does.
Yeah, the beat
She does.
selection.
I'm not a fan of her like that. I feel like that, you know, and this is my opinion. This is our opinion because we all agree on this. But I feel like that's what tarnished her legacy going forward is that her beats were so soy. You know what I mean? They're just so mid. They're so you know, and it's like she has such potential as a dope MC. She's so dope. And it's just her beats are just like, you know, whoever was making the beats for her, they were like, it's facts. They were like, you're a girl who raps. Let me make a girl rap beat. You know what I mean? Talk your shit, sis. You know, whatever.
I will say this, and she might be really into those beats. But for me,
obviously, she rapped over it. She picked them. Yeah.
But for me, it's like, I don't think that necessarily tarnishes the rapper in the same way as you can have somebody that's an incredible singer and they just happen to be in front of a band that isn't really up to her or his tempo, right? You know, it doesn't take away from the fact that she spits.
No, not at all. That's why I wanted to say that. That's why I wanted to give her roses because she is definitely. No, I don't know if Sheik's in the same category. Like that would be insulting to Jean Grey. I think Jean Grey is definitely a top tier MC that just suffered from mid-level beats.
Real shit. Let's go ahead and move on to 2005. Also, wait. Encore by Eminem dropped that year as well. But 2005, the game dropped.
What was the standout album single on Encore?
I don't know. I don't listen to Eminem.
Exactly. So don't even mention it.
You have to mention it because Eminem is one of the biggest
record sales
rappers.
Don't matter. But he's only one of the biggest rappers because record sales, bro. And you gotta understand that. No. We're not gonna let fucking mid-grade bullshit slide. Let me tell you something, man. That was what happened. This narrative started as far as sales equate to what's really dope. And just because exposure and marketing schemes allowed you to get more sales didn't necessarily mean you was putting out dope project. Shit that was universally accepted as dope is not the same as top selling shit. But I digress.
Well, and I will also can I just tag onto that really quick?
Please, Carl.
There's a Rocky Marciano effect that happens. And I don't mean Rock Marciano. I mean the boxer.
You mean Rocky Marciano. Yes.
When there is a white person that's in a predominantly non-white sport or genre or any of those things and they succeed, they automatically get a large fan base of white people that champion that person, the Great White Hype.
Thanks, Carl. Thank you, Carl.
And it's supposed to be the Great White Hope, but I'm kidding. So, and I'm not saying that Eminem isn't talented. I'm just saying that you know, Eminem has a built-in number of fans strictly because he's a white rapper that can spit in a predominantly black genre.
Yep. Thank you. The elephant in the room. That's the elephant in the room. And that ain't to take away from Eminem because Eminem's a dope MC.
Yes.
He's a dope MC.
I would never say anything like,
let's never argue that. We're never going to argue that. But
that doesn't mean all his albums are classics.
Thank you, Carl.
Not at all.
Carl, boy, you finish all my words, man.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to jump on it.
No, you never apologize. I agree.
I gotta go back to 2003, and this is the reason why I put this album in there. Lost Children of Babylon. Shout out to Razul Allah, my homie. They dropped the album Book of Anubis. And it was one of the best albums in 2003. Now you come to 2004, Encore is one of the biggest albums. The reason why I had to say Encore and bring up that album, even though I don't remember like that. I think it's the Eminem Show was the album that I liked from him. But anyway, that
was a dope album.
Say it.
Shout out Eminem Show.
So boom, stuff is getting marketed a different way from 99 to 2001. And a different sound and different type of people are getting marketed. Even though you have the cunnilinguist, you know what I'm saying, who's a white guy and a black guy, who are underground. You know what I'm saying? You have Eminem.
Brother Ali.
There you go. Brother Ali. Is he white? He's albino or something like that. I don't know.
But I feel like he's an albino white dude.
I don't know. I
Either
don't
way,
know.
I mean, but
I think it's hard to tell when you're
well,
it can be.
well, let's just say the whole rhyme sayers, that whole clique from Minnesota is in that
Atmosphere.
era. Atmosphere,
Yeah.
Slug, all of them are in that same group right around then.
True indeed. But I'm saying they getting, even though the rhyme sayers are a part of an underground faction, you have Encore, who, like when Money Miz said this, when hip hop is marketed to 16-year-old white girls whose dads buy them the tickets to go to the stadium to go watch the concerts, that's when stuff gets marketing different. And that's why I went all the way back to 2003 when you have Victor Vaughn, Cunning Linguist, Gangstar owners, Nappy Roots, Lost Children of Babylon, Freeway. And then all of a sudden you get to 2004. Now we're to 2005. You have The Game, Late Registration, Common B, Danger Do. But then we have I'm gonna skip these. I'm not gonna say it. One of DJ Muggs' best collab albums, Grandmasters.
I love Grandmasters
with the
Jizza. Oh my god. Oh my
then
god.
You have,
that's
what
one
else?
of the dopest joints that exists.
The album that really pissed off a lot of people with The Source, The Minstrel Show, who got 4.5 mics by
Little Brother, right?
Little Brother, The Listening was dropped in 2003, 2005. Little Brother's on an incredible run too. They have let's see, let me go back. I got their stuff written down. Oh shit.
Go through your notes, Lukey.
I love Studious Lukey. This is great.
I love it. Yeah, this is great.
Shit.
For some reason, I just got this image of Lukey in a lab coat with a whiteboard in front of him, and he's got formulas and
Right. This is Little Brother's run. 2003, The Listening, The Minstrel Show, Connected, 2004, 2007, The Get Back. Sleepers came out in 2005. Chitlin Circuit came out in 2004. Separate but Equal, one of DJ Drama's best mixtapes, you ask me, came out in 2006. So from 2003 to 2007, they could hardly do no wrong. Little Brother. We haven't got to 2000
Get Back
yet.
is definitely a serious album. I remember that, absolutely.
Yeah, with Lil Wayne, that was their last one before they called it quits, then came back together again
before
in 2000.
They broke up or whatever.
And then got back together. Yeah. So this 2005, Late Registration, but I didn't say this. Chemistry by, what's that nigga name?
Buckshot. And
Monkey Bars. And Monkey Bars came out that year
Sean
as well.
Price. Yep, exactly.
And this is one of the,
Yep.
Also, I had to throw this in there. Sunset by Tanya Morgan. That was their promoting album for Moonlighting that came out in 2006. In 2006, you had an album that did really well. Donuts. You know what I'm saying? Instrumental album. Yeah.
Donut. I'm not a fan of the instrumental album wave. Shout out Madlib. Shout out Doom.
DJ Shadow.
DJ like Shadow. Yeah, all that. I mean, that
Alchemist
was cool.
Was putting out instrumental albums as well.
Yeah, he still do, but I mean, like, and that's, that's great. I love hearing your beats, but a beat without a rhyme, to me, it's just like, it's like
the music, bro. Rap over yourself. That's what we was doing.
Nah, man. I mean, I feel that.
Free mixtape material.
There you go. I think Doom put that stuff there for us to hear
people curate. Yeah, I guess, but I mean, and that's cool if that's the case. I want to hear curated albums, right? I want to hear projects where a producer said, I'm going to grab MCs and I want you to rhyme over my beats. I don't want to just hear. That's just me. But whatever.
I hear the music. I appreciate the music. And when you don't hear the rhyme on there, you can hear a lot more shit that you ain't ever heard on the beat.
That's, counterpoint. I don't want to hear the beat if I don't hear a rhymer on it. I don't want to sit there and listen to it like that. Like, I'll listen to the first couple of, I'll listen to it, the first 30 seconds and be like, okay, cool, skip. Okay, cool, skip. Whatever, and done. That's just me.
Okay, so you guys remember "Let Me Clear My Throat"?
I hate that song.
Okay,
oh my god, I hate that song.
But back in the day, before that came out, that was an actual song that was being played in hip hop clubs without any vocals, and it was called the 900 number.
Yeah.
And it was just it was the sax
Ed Lover,
loop.
Dr. Dre and Ed Lover from Yo MTV Raps used to play that shit all the time, and that's where you got the Ed Lover dance from.
And to your point, I would rather listen to it without the lyrics.
Well, yeah, that one. Oh, yeah, to that, yeah, exactly. But I feel like that's a different situation that we're talking about there.
I'm just saying.
That's the Ed Lover dance. I love that shit. Uh-oh, Lukey got the red pen out. More notes.
Yeah.
Get right in. Let's go.
True indeed. Moonlighting dropped. That was my favorite albums because it's Tanya Morgan, man. But what else? Donuts, Fish Scales by Ghostface, The Roots, Game Theory, The Shining by Jay Dilla. Jay Dilla's on this incredible like run of his. You know what I'm saying? All these albums he has. Everybody want to listen to Dilla Past, whatever. Everybody want to listen to this shit. But here's where a lot of stuff sounded funny. Kingdom Come. Didn't like it. Jay-Z.
Nope. Trash. Trash
it wasn't good. Clips. Hell Have No Fury. Didn't like it.
Hell Have No Fury is definitely mid. Yeah, it's mid grade.
Yeah. And these are the people also. Blood Money by Mobb Deep. What the fuck? I was like,
that was definitely an obligation album. You know what I mean? That wasn't a pure Mobb Deep album.
Not at all.
Not at all.
So we're listening to this music and things are getting funny. It's getting weird. That same year, Hip Hop Is Dead dropped in 2006. And the other albums were sprinkled in there. But Hip Hop Is Dead.
Wait, was that 2000? I thought that was 2009. That was 2006?
You want to go? You want to go to the Googles to make sure?
No. You're right. I'm looking at 2009 right now, and that definitely didn't come out then, because 2009 we got things like Bastard and goddamn it, Malice in Wonderland and Till the
Bastard came out in 2009.
Yeah, keep going, man.
Or 2007. 2007. I got to shout out Sunlighting. That's after Moonlighting.
Yeah, let's go. Let's keep going.
But then you have after Late Registration dropped. Late Registration dropped when? Oh, 2005, 2007. Graduation dropped with the crazy single. Yeah, with I'm not tonight. That's when Kanye started slowly changing to pop Kanye and not the Kanye that we liked. You know what I'm saying?
When did 808s and Heartbreaks come out?
Later.
Because that's
the next.
That's when he fully emerged from that cocoon and was like, I'm future Kanye now.
But this is whenever stuff got crazy. Get Back dropped that year. Rough Draft and the Big Doe Rehab dropped on that album.
Big Doe Rehab is a dope album.
It's pretty good. Pharoah Monch, Desire. It was a lot of loops, but it was incredible rhyming by Pharoah Monch, Desire. Prodigy, Return of the Mac. It was all right. Black Milk.
No, it was beyond all right. Hold on, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carl. Talk.
I didn't. I'm Stuck to You was on that album. I'm stuck.
I'm stuck to you. But Nickel and the Nail, number one, Nickel and the Nail, Return of the Mac, and what else? Shit. Yeah, well, number one, Nickel and the Nail. That's the shit on there. Return of the Mac. I like that. That's my favorite. Stuck on You, and then there was one other song on there that was
Baby's
super
on there?
Crazy.
Hey baby, the baby. Baby, why I need mad guns with my 9 work fine, my AR plush. I don't think that's on no album at all. I think it's the Lucy. Word.
Let me tell you, man, that shit was Return of the Mac. Bang on them. Fucking bang on them. Oh my God. That's another album that I can vividly remember riding around just drunk in a zone, singing words and reciting it like it was the gospel. Fucking bang on them, Nickel and the Nail, Stop Frontin', all of them joy. I mean, come on, yeah, absolutely. Return of the Mac, man. Prodigy, man.
I might
Prodigy,
have to,
man.
I'm gonna put a dot by that and go back listening to it. You know what I'm saying?
You got to.
Yeah. And everybody out there, everybody out there in TV, radio, YouTube, Instagram land. If we're missing some albums in here, because I know we're gonna miss some stuff.
Please chime in.
Yes, chime in. Chime in what year and what album it was. Cause I know I'm missing a lot because I didn't mention Pac Div, or none of that shit yet.
We ain't even talked about nonfiction. Shout out Raul.
Nah, have not.
Raul Duke definitely sent me. He was like, "Yo, the nonfiction was out here crushing shit during this era."
True indeed. I don't even have nonfiction on these
never
notes.
Forget nonfiction. Never forget nonfiction, man.
But in 2007, we have Finding Forever, which was a good album. Also, you have
It was all right.
a cult following for Below the Heavens by Blue and Exile. That put
Yes.
Blue on his path
Yeah.
of kind of underground superstardom, even though he get drunk on stage and forget his lyrics. Go ahead.
Well, hold on. While you're talking about Blue and Exile, can we also shout out Murs? We got to shout out Murs because I feel like Murs was an executive or starting to become an executive around this time, and he was, hey, look, feel how you want to feel, but Murs is another one of these dudes who really put our voice in those rooms among people, decision makers and stuff like that. And he was respected by those people.
No.
Yeah, you ain't have to like his music, but I feel like he respected the aesthetic enough and he was credible enough and honored everything enough that when he was making decisions and doing things that he was holding it down for us, man. So shout out Murs, man. Like I think that Below the Heavens, like that album that you're talking about, I feel like that's almost kind of like a side effect of Murs being in the universe. They were like, oh, who knows Murs? Oh, Blue? Okay, great. You get an album.
No, I feel that, yo. But Blue also gets drunk on stage and forgets his rhymes. And my homie jumped on stage at Hell at the Masquerade because he was not remember his album. Now, 2008. I'm just putting. I slice in some stuff. The Mandela Effect might have got these two albums. I put in a couple of my favorites. Out of Sight was a rapper from New York who dropped a freaking album called Employee of the Year. Then he dropped this album called Radio New York. You know what I'm saying? And like it was amazing.
Yeah, you were talking about that previously.
Yeah. But I'm like, did this really even exist? Because no one knows about this dude that I know. Like
never heard of him.
Y'all ever heard of the what is it? Zoobly Zoos.
Yeah, of course.
You heard? Okay, boom. Me and my sister used to watch the Zoobly Zoos.
Zoobly Zoo.
Zoo, yeah.
Zoobly Zoo. Yeah, that shit used to come on.
Waiting for you. Yeah.
Well, the reason why that I think you find so many people that hardly remember it is because it came on at like 6:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning, right before all the normal cartoons and everything that we used to watch would come on. That's why you hardly know people. Like if you were somebody who was in a household where you had to get up and, leave with your mom or your dad when they were on their way to work early. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know about it. But other than that, no. Yeah,
Zoobly Zoo. Before this bus,
that was super
came.
early. Yeah. That was way before the bus and eating cereal and stuff. Absolutely.
But that's the reason why. So me and my sister talk about Zoobly Zoos and Superbook and Flying House and all these cartoons that no one's heard about coming down here. And so boom.
And you feel like you're crazy or something when people are looking at you.
Yeah.
You're like, no, this was real.
Real shit. Then I'd be like,
I co-sign you, Luki. No, I've never heard that one, but I know it's Zoobly Zoo.
So I went back on my Facebook. I remember seeing this dude at A3C. Till was there. Another rapper I didn't really like, Donnie Goins. I thought he was really mid. I thought
Donnie
he was really not that good.
He was.
Yeah, he got a cool name.
Yeah.
But that was the MySpace era.
That name.
True indeed. That was the MySpace era of rappers.
Yep.
Another album was The Further Adventures of Von P. He stole all Madlib beats. Talked about how he's going to catch a case if Madlib heard the album and shit. It was pretty good. I Like My Ass Is Fat, Not Flat. Also, Tanya Morgan dropped a mixtape sponsored by MySpace, all of MySpace, and it's called Tanya Morgan. It's a rap group. So it was amazing. And it's three guys named a girl. Thing was amazing. They copied all the popular skits. The Dead Press skit. I Thought You Stole My Killer Tape skit. They copied all the best skits and did a mixtape, and it was pretty dope, yo. Also, that's the same year as this stuff right here, and they're finally putting out mixtapes. Out of Sight, Ready New York was a mixtape. For the Bitches Von P was a mixtape. They're giving away music. They're trying to find a way to get their music out. You know what I'm saying? But that same year, 808s The Heartbreaks broke. You know what I'm saying? Music sounded different. T.I. Paper Trail came. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Jizza Pro Tools was there. So they got a little bit of mainstay of how the old sound was there. Q-Top The Renaissance came out. You know what I'm saying? The new type of Q-Tip beats. Elzai. One of my favorite Elzai albums, The Preface. came out. That was a great album to me. Colors and all that shit. The Carter 3 also dropped that year. So
Now,
yeah.
okay. So now you're talking about a phenomenon beginning, because the Carter 3 is when I think, besides the Lil Wayne mixtape era, before or after the DJ Drama mixtapes, right?
Yes.
Carter 3 was when Lil Wayne definitely cemented, like, yo, I'm that dude right now. And I mean, the Carter 3, yeah, well, he was kind of still sending little subliminal shots at Jay, talking all types of slick shit for whatever reason. I mean, that's between them. That's that petty rich motherfucker shit, man. Whatever they on, they were mad somebody didn't send a bottle of champagne or some silly shit. But I think any hip hop head during that time, especially when the Carter 3 came out, if you didn't respect Lil Wayne, the Carter 3, then I don't think you were really tapped into hip hop, because that was definitely a solid album. Like, that was a shining album that came out during that era. Absolutely. The Carter 3 is serious.
We're still 2008?
Yes.
Okay, so
look how much work we got to do.
Pain Language also came out from Planet Asia and DJ Muggs.
Now, another good collabo album. Good job, bro. Good job. Good. Hey, yo, come, yeah, way to go. You acting like, come on, man. Yeah, I mean,
thanks, Carl.
My phone a friend.
Well, and Planet Asia had been dropping albums, but that was, I mean, Muggs produced. Yeah. It was definitely
by Muggs. They should do another one. I think. It's 2008. They already missed the 2018 reunion time.
Well, you already see. Muggs got Soul Assassins Part 3 getting ready to come out. I think by the time we drop this episode, Soul Assassins Part 3 is coming out in 2 days or 3 days from this point. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Planet Asia I think he might have one verse on there, but I think that's we can't continue without shouting out DJ Muggs. We're going to see DJ Muggs come up again, obviously, as we keep talking. But Pain Language is another one of those albums that kind of is serving as a foundational point of this current abyss that we're in right now. Mm-hmm. And even from there, shout out Fashawn. I got to shout out Fashawn, because that's the kind of the galaxy that existed. Planet Asia, Fashawn, them Wretch, you know what I mean? That was all in that kind of universe around that same time, I feel like.
True indeed. It was hard, I guess, at that time to make money off music.
It was changing.
It was definitely changing. But we're getting to a place where I think 2009, people are starting to find new ways to make music. And what album dropped in 2009?
Before I Self-Destruct by 50 Cent.
No, I wasn't even going to talk about that. What's on your shirt, Puma Jam?
Only Built for Cuban Links Part 2.
Yeah.
But no, hold on. The only reason I had to shout out the only reason I had to shout out Before I Self-Destruct is because, just like you said, people were finding new ways to do things. 50 Cent put out a whole movie that went with Before I Self-Destruct, the album, right? To make people kind of get into that. And it was a dope movie. He had Clifton Powell in it. It was a series. It was decent. It was a cool little movie, had a plot and everything. It was cool. And the project itself, I think if you bought the CD, you got the movie on the DVD or on the CD. It was like a DVD CD. But that was like one of the last things of that era, because I think you can say probably around 2009, 10, 11, that's when CDs were dying out.
Yes, and they were starting to make computers with no CD drive.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm saying DJ at the party, at the show, didn't have a CD drive for me to put my instrumentals in there. I'm like, how the fuck? All right, cool.
Everything went to flash drives.
But hold on, artists out there.
Before you say that though, did y'all ever see the meme or the Instagram or internet thing where they say, cassette tapes and vinyl have side A and B. So it only makes sense that the CD was the next evolution. Aha.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Anyway,
That's pretty good. That's pretty
yep,
good.
I
That's pretty
digress.
good. Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
digress.
yeah. Well, but I was saying that's why, like artists like me and Preo and Jab, I'm saying Carl, he plays live instrumentation. There's no playing that over there. So boom. So like, yeah, rappers, when you go to a show, have your shit three places: online, on the CD, on the tape. Carl doesn't have that luxury. He has to play that shit. you got to play it. You got to play it, yo. Word. Yeah. So boom. Carl just has to make sure he brings his drumsticks and his he has to lug his drums in there. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Yeah, back in the day we had to carry not we. They had to carry all their records with them to the show. Nowadays you have
Absolutely.
Serato. And you don't have to
I
worry
done
about that
carried
shit.
plenty of crates, man. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
man. Shout out
You're
Jason
not doing
Staten,
that.
man. He used to make me carry crates to all them
Milk
DJ
crates for the
gigs
win.
at the bounce on Bankhead.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah, Bankhead, yo, Bankhead bounce. Okay, 2009, only built for Cuban Links 2. Most Depth of Static.
Yep.
Doom, Born Like This, Jay-Z, Blueprint 3. Also, shout out to one of my favorite albums. Yeah, it wasn't good. Blueprint 3. I think it had Nigga
It was
Please on
not
there.
good. It had like two. It literally had 3 songs on it.
I think
3
Nigga
songs.
Please. Nigga Please.
Blueprint 3 was cool. Or
how you like the song? With this,
they say. Yeah, that joint. Yeah, that
one.
joint.
And
That
then
was
the
that shit was
single.
cool.
And the single.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Death
yeah.
for Auto-Tune.
Also one of my favorite albums of all time as well. Tanya Morgan, Brooklyn Natty. Not the Brooklyn Natty, they broke up and it's only a 2-man group, and it was never the same to me. But that run that they had, let's see, do I have them written down right here? Tanya Morgan from 2000, whatever. I think 5 to 2009. They could do no wrong for me. They put out a lot of great music. Sam Buck knows, even though he wasn't born then. Go ahead.
Hold on, man. I feel like also during this time, 2000, I feel like we're missing out.
A lot.
We're not saluting certain people that really were actually putting in the dirty work, the grind work. Shout out Fabulous for Loso's Way. That was also in 2009. No, I know you feel that way, but Loso's Way led to the Soul tapes. And when the Soul tapes started coming out, you know what I mean?
It was a lot better.
That was a whole different Fabulous, right? Shout out to Action Bronson. I feel like he was heavy in that era.
We haven't got to him yet. No, he hasn't came out yet. Action Bronson came out.
Well,
we had to get to. We're almost there. We're almost to Action Bronson. Whatever he came out. Also,
what about the Brooklyn Renaissance? What happened with the Flatbush Zombies, Mr. Exquisite?
Not there yet.
They're not there yet. Oh wow, I felt like that was 2009. See, my years are off, man.
It might have been 2009, but 2011 is when Action Bronson started really. Eastbound and Down. I forget it's a mixtape he had.
Blue Chips.
No, it's not Blue Chips.
Blue Chips was 2000. Well, that's what I'm saying. Blue Chips was earlier than that.
No, Blue Chips wasn't before Hannibal Lecter. And Hannibal Lecter was Dr. Lecter was 2011, I believe. Go to the Googles real quick, please.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. When you that is an old Action Bronson. Before that point, he was definitely getting busy. Hold on, man. I'm about to
Dr. Lecter is the first time a lot of us seen.
Oh, hold on, man. We talking about 2009. You can't ever forget You God album that came out. Okay, I'm sorry.
Mr. Fantastic?
No.
Mr. Excitement?
No, you got put out motherfucking and I only know this because I had the page open, but you got put out Dopium. I didn't mean to shout you got out. The other one. Dopium was actually pretty decent. Yeah. But Eminem put out Relapse. Cameron put out Crime Pays. Yeah, all that was in 2009.
That's not good stuff though.
Crime Pays was dope. Crime Pays definitely had. I Get It in Ohio. That shit was dope.
Well.
Come on,
there was
Blue
a lot of stuff that was. Blue Chips is what?
2012.
Oh
yeah,
wow!
It's not definitely not there. You're not there.
Yeah, okay, all right. I'm gonna shut up until we get there.
Go back to the first Action Bronson album. It was Dr. Lecter, right? 2011.
Yep.
No, it had to be something before
No.
Dr. Lecter. I feel like Dr. Lecter was like an old.
Then the one with Static
old
Selector
project.
Well,
came out.
he had an EP or a mixtape that came out. Was Bon Appetit, bitch.
Bon Appetit. Yes.
Bon
That was
That
hot.
came out
Okay, there we
January
go.
4th of 2011, and
There
then
you
Dr.
go.
Lecter came out in March.
That's what I'm saying. We're not there yet. Primo Jab gone.
Yeah,
It looks like Jeezy.
he brought shame to his family.
Yeah, he's like Jeezy. He looks like Jeezy. Yeah. But I'm saying like, yeah, we haven't got that. I definitely wasn't gonna forget Action Bronson, even though I did not write down several of his albums on here, which Rare Chandeliers, I didn't write that down. I know I didn't have it written down here, but 2010, we're getting to another different era. You have Kanye, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, wonderful album to me. But also you have Big Boy, Sir Lucius Left Foot. Roots has another great album.
Big Boy, I think is another dude that once he went solo or kind of was doing his own thing, holding it down for the mighty Outcast. People kind of acted like he was an afterthought. So shout out Big Boy, man. He was definitely spit.
Yeah, definitely. Also, are y'all familiar with the racists? The racists?
I hate them.
But they're important.
Fuck
on
them.
here.
They suck.
Hold on.
They're trash. They're terrible.
They're not that good at all.
No, they're not good at all.
But it is a YouTube wave of how they got famous and how they got to put out music. You know what I'm saying? I forget who was messing with them to actually get them the fame. Oh no,
I
Fool's
feel like
Gold.
that.
Fool's Gold.
Fool. Oh, there you go. Start talking about Fool's Gold. There you go. Talk about the menace, the gift and the curse of Fool's Gold. R.I.P. DJ A-Track.
True, but Fool's Gold is the one who put out Kid Cudi as well. A Man in the Moon. They put that out first. But we're gonna go talk about more stuff. Ghostface is almost ending his run of perfect albums because Apollo Kids came out and it seemed like it was rushed. It seemed like it wasn't really thought that through at all. But Currency was coming out with Pilot Talk 1 and 2 in 2010. And this is the start of his empire. Jab, you going?
No, he's going to get a charger, but he's still with us.
All right. Okay, Freeway and Jake 1 came out with Stimulus Package. That was pretty good as well because it's showing a mainstream artist coming with an underground artist to make music, even though Freeway was not in the spotlight anymore. Black Milk Album of the Year, pretty good. What else? Not talking about those. 2 albums were really important this year. That's why 2010, the 10 mark is huge. Dang. 2 albums. Guess one of the albums that came out 2010 that I think is huge for just hip hop. Two albums though. 2 albums. What you got? Carl?
I don't know.
Okay, Rock Marciano came out with Mossberg, and that's when Sean Price came out with the Snow remix.
Oh shit!
But Drake, Thank Me Later came out in 2010. You know what I'm saying? And that was the start of a lot of problems.
Thank Me Later. Also, Album of the Year.
Yeah, Drake. Black Milk, Album of the Year.
Black Milk. How I Got Over with the Roots.
Yeah, all that good shit is in there. But Drake, Thank Me Later is a start of a lot of softer music because he blew up and people were taking that formula from him to blow up.
Definitely.
So Jab, you back at it?
Yeah, man. I had to move around, man. In case y'all didn't know, I'm sitting in a hotel lobby in fucking Athens, Greece right now, man, on some bullshit. So I had to find a new location. That's all. I was making a little bit too much of a noise.
Oh,
gotcha.
But look at your face. You're like,
I don't give a fuck. Fuck them. I don't care, man.
Yeah, but the last thing we talked about was 2 albums dropped in 2010 that were really important to both sides of the culture. One, Rock Marciano, Mossberg. Then Drake, Thank Me Later. You know what I'm
So
saying?
this was the emergence of Drake. This is when Drake first appeared on the scene, right?
Yeah, your fancies on that album, I believe.
Is this
Um,
best I ever had and all that type of shit?
I think that they don't think that came out on that. I think it came out before. It was like
Okay. Well,
Lucy's.
either way, yeah. But it
Mm.
was on that album. It was in the video. I just know the only reason I know that song, number one, because I hate it, but number two, because Kanye directed the video, which I actually like. I like the fact that Kanye directed the video. I thought that was dope. You know, it's a good
Mm.
cross pollination.
Gross. And now they have beef together.
He said
Um,
gross.
yeah, man. Yeah. Okay,
That's
but
funny.
then and then 2011, we come to 2011. Now we're missing a lot of stuff in there. We haven't said anything
We
about
missing a
Pac
lot of
Div.
stuff, man.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
haven't said
man.
anything. Pac Div was one of the most, to
Shout out
me,
Like, my man Like.
yeah. You call it like?
Yeah, man. Like, I remember Pac Div. I remember going to see Pac Div live in Atlanta at Center Stage,
Mm,
and afterwards Like was hanging out with everybody, like literally just kicking it. And I don't think he was drinking or nothing like that. Like, I think he's like a kind of straight
yeah,
edge dude, but he was just, he just has that passion for life, that energy, man. So he was a
so
good
indeed.
dude, man. I still got his email address and all that stuff from just building and chopping it up with him, man. He a good
This
dude,
is up.
man.
Bibbs done had some killer verses, and I forget the last dude's name. Yeah, but I posted a video one time. The Money Money Makes the World Go. They had some great
They had some
videos.
jams. Yeah,
They
they
was
were
ahead of their
creative.
time. So
Yeah,
indeed, they were ahead of their time. But that generation right there, to me, that's like what the A3C was about. All these
exactly,
rappers coming
exactly.
to Atlanta that actually had
Yep.
a name.
That's when I went to
Mm,
see them. It was during A3C. Thank you, Lukey.
true indeed, true indeed. It was
Shout
a
out
good time.
A3C.
Not anymore. They suck. Also,
Yeah,
let's go to
fuck A3C
2011.
right now.
Yeah.
Two times.
Yeah, word. 2011, we had Watch the Throne come out, Undone by the Roots, which is not one of the Roots' best albums, but they're still on this great run of great albums.
When did
ASAP Rocky,
Phrenology come out? Was that right before this one? That was
no,
right
it came
before
out.
Undone, right?
No, it came out before Tipping Point, I believe.
See, yeah, because that I think Undone, Tipping Point, and Phrenology, that was the kind
I
of the
love Phonology.
span. But do you love Phrenology?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's like Undone though. Undone and
Undone is
Phrenology.
Phonology is much better than Phonology.
Yeah, but they're both mid though.
Nah, Phonology is you gotta walk straight master your high. So you got something on the past. And you talking about Malik By Malik
I'm
B. Oh, I
not. You
love
know
it.
what?
Oh, and the
Let
song.
me
Okay, check it out.
let me
Hold on.
redact
No,
that.
no, no, no,
Let
hold
me
on,
redact that.
hold on. No,
Nothing
I
the
gotta tell the
Roots have
story.
done is
Is
mid. Let me say that.
uh,
Let me
I got
redact that.
I gotta tell the story. I gotta tell the story. They have a part in Phonology. I forget this. If it wasn't for the album, I wouldn't be here before you guys. Because there's a part on that album where you have the dude talking about the man that you can't see or something like that. It's a long monologue. He's talking, and you hear this beat like dun 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 dun, and like yeah, and it goes crazy. It's like crazy. It's some wild shit. I took that shit off iTunes. Can make files a wave. And I did a poem. I was doing spoken word poetry. It's called Battling with Satan. There was a website, and the poem's about me. And I got weak, and I was like, I was in front of the devil, and I was rapping against him. I'm doing a poem. Then I got weak, so I threw the mic to my favorite rappers, the Royce the 5'9". I threw it to Nas. I threw it to the Wu Tang. I threw it to niggas, and they helped me
Mm.
battle Satan, and I won. That was what the poem was about. I was rhyming all the time. So I put it on this website called myruckus.com. This dude named Esma Harbor found me. I know what? It was Dread Eye who found me on there. And that's how I met Dread Eye. Esma Harbor took those vocals and he put it on um, MySpace. And he made his own song out of it. I did a couple songs with Esma Harbor. But without doing that poem to that phonology beat, I wouldn't know these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm.
that's wild. Totally forgot about that. But I love that album, yo.
Yo,
No skips.
something else about this particular time, and we're still talking about 2011, right?
So it's a kind of a good year too.
It was really a very good year, but a special shout out to the Bay Area because the Bay was really putting like they were number one, the Bay during all these times, we can go back and we can look, and there were seminal albums that were released from Bay Area artists since let's say 2006. Absolutely, R.I.P. Mac Dre, number one, first and foremost.
Regional,
you know what I mean? But that's what that and you. Thank you, Lukey. The Bay, as far as taking the independent artist route and stamping the regional sound and saying, hey, we don't have to make music that's accepted in Cleveland or like Pennsylvania or Florida. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. And Texas was also on the same thing, but I think the Bay really exemplified it the most, especially during this time, during 2011. Like there were people like the Jacka, for example, AP9, Thiz ENT, just in general, were doing a lot, putting out a lot of projects, almost Master P-esque as far as volume of releases that were coming out. So shout out the Bay Area and holding it down for their sound and making sure that they were putting a stamp on their region and making sure that people knew, hey, this is us. This is what we do. This is how we're putting it down for the music.
And that's another reason why I guess people thought that hip hop was dead. You're not hearing this stuff on the radio. Hip hop became super regional. You have people who move from place to place. Cool, but hip hop, I mean, people have moved from New York to down south, to New York to LA, New York to the Midwest, New York to
Atlanta.
And so you're not hearing the same thing on radio. Hip hop is regional. They have hip hop.
Max B was killing it for New York around then. Shout out Max B. Free Big Avail. I don't know how we made it this far without saying Max B's name. Free Big Avail.
True indeed. But hip hop is regional. Sound is regional. So there's another reason why people are saying hip hop is dead. But New York was on some. I mean, not a lot of people want to.
Before you say that, let me say Max B was one of those dudes that was a New York dude that was unapologetically a New York dude, and his sound was the New York sound of that time. Was it the traditional
of that time? Boom? It was there you go. It wasn't that.
Was it the traditional boom bap? No. But at the same time, you also had Jim Jones, which was the rival of Max B. But then you had KRS-One. He was kind of really trying to make noise then. Cameron was definitely doing it. It was really a Harlem Bronx kind of chokehold on the game during that time. And then Brooklyn, obviously Brooklyn's always in the mix with the Sean Price and Buck Down and all that stuff. Ruck Down,
But 2011, when all this stuff is kind of going away, that's when ASAP Mob kind of
yes.
They took the deck down south. But it's something familiar but new. It didn't totally sound like down south stuff, Carl.
Yeah.
You also had Danny Brown's second release with Triple X.
That's what I'm talking. That's all. That's
out of Detroit.
That is Fool's Gold. That was Fool's Gold who put that out as well. That's why I love Fool's Gold. The first joint was the Hybrid, which I love. Album cover so
love
whack.
The Hybrid.
Triple X is a classic.
Mm-hmm. Is Triple X a classic?
Definitely.
Does that have Grown Man on there?
No.
What album is Grown Man on?
Don't know.
Okay. Well, if we're gonna shout out Danny Brown again, here's another name that I feel like was another person that was putting in work and was regional, but at the same time keeping it true to the roots. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, shout out Jay Dilla. Rest in peace.
That's not true to the. That's not what Triple X is not keeping it true to the roots whatsoever.
I was gonna say Tony Yayo. Let's not ever overlook Tony Yayo and his one-man campaign of being the mixtape king of New York during a certain time.
His album sucked though so bad. What happened?
You can say that. I mean, yeah, they fell off after a certain point, but there were like a solid 3 or 4 Tony Yayo tapes that were legit. His album, Thoughts of a Predicate Felon, was not good. But his mixtapes, Tony Yayo mixtapes were rarefied, dope, just slime ball, good old New York era
the bag, and then
essence shit. You know what I mean?
True indeed. Yeah.
I think he got the bag, and he kind of Tony Yayo kind of he said, I got this money. I'm out here touring with 50. I'm getting paid to be 50's hype man. That's cool, whatever. But this is what I do. And he made all these trench, just inspired albums. And I'll tell you, here we go. Let me take you back to the Bay Area, because we cannot any further without saying that Tony Yayo was inspired by Lil B. We cannot not mention Lil B. Lil B was out there going crazy. The yellow tape, the red tape, all these different mixtapes that Lil B was putting out and killing. He was crushing.
Okay, he was
and
crushing.
Tony Yayo bit that formula. He took that formula, and said, yo, I'm going to do almost the same thing, but in a New York accent.
I don't, if he didn't say that, I can't agree with that, because 50 was already doing that with his unit releases.
No. This was after.
Gucci shit.
This was after. Yeah. Yep. That too. Gucci and Lil B are contemporaries.
Yeah, they flooded the market.
Absolutely.
Just like 50.
They was the flood. 50. It was the flood. But what I'm saying is that 50, the G Unit mixtapes and 50's mixtapes, they were not the same beast as a Lil B. Like, Lil B was out there making absurd foolishness. Okay?
Yeah.
There's no way around it. He was making absurd foolishness, but he was cultivating a cult following. He was building a fan base, and he was feeding them. He was like, oh, you like this? Guess what? I got another mixtape coming out in 2 weeks. And he would drop it. Tony Yayo was on the same. Look, Lil B did songs with a bunch of people. A lot of people are gonna be like, oh yeah, that's right. I did do a song with Lil B. Oh yeah, that's right. I did say bass guy can fuck my bitch. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yo,
yeah.
What is he doing now?
Who knows, man? He counting money, living in Berkeley somewhere, man. Who knows?
Probably.
You know what I mean?
He probably still has a big fan base right now.
He absolutely does, man. He still got people taking pictures of their feet with "I love Lil B, bass guy can fuck my bitch," and there's a lot of girls that are younger than 21, 26, 27 that are still doing that. They weren't there for when Lil B was really killing it, but Lil B is a cultural icon. And he gave birth to Tony Yayo being able to put out his mixtapes the way that he did. Look at it. Indeed. Look it up. Y'all think I'm tripping, but I'm trying to tell you, man, I done did the research. I was outside during those times. It was running concurrent. It absolutely was.
True indeed. We got about 8 more years to go. So I'm going to
keep going, bro. Keep going, man. I didn't even realize we were going to get this deep. This shit is crazy.
Section 80 by
2012 is coming.
Right. We didn't even make it to 2012 yet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Action Bronson showed up on the scene with Dr. Lecter or Mr. Lecter. Section 80 by Kendrick Lamar. Album that I thought was okay, but it wasn't great. Goblin by Tyler. I like Rolling Papers by Wiz Khalifa. We're going to stop there. The reason why that the Tyler Creator, he said some wild shit. Victim, baby, you my 5th one. Rape a pregnant bitch and tell my friends I had a threesome. I was like, yo.
Look, man, the whole Golf Wang, Wolfgang, all that type of shit, the whole Odd Future, that is definitely a phenomenon that happened.
Yeah, it did.
It absolutely is. It
spawned some good Frank Ocean, Channel Orange, the internet, naked purple ladies.
Sure, if you say so.
Yeah,
if you say so, whatever.
Good. Cocaine. I want it. Do you want to do some cocaine? I
No,
love
I
that
don't.
song,
I'm
yo.
not into
I
drums
love
like that,
yo.
but thank
But
you. But
it's a
I was
yo, but
gonna
it's forbidden. It's talking about she's in love with this girl and
right.
she can't. Yeah. So
No,
boom,
I
I get
get
it.
you.
Yeah,
What I was gonna say is I feel like that those specifically Odd Future, that group really engaged a new demographic. Like again, hip hop was changing right
of
then. The
kids.
world was changing right then. Kids were changing right then. And they really identified with Odd Future and that sound and the things they were talking about. So yeah, that was a changing point. That was an inflection point. I think again, Kanye 808s and Heartbreaks right before that was kind of
That's the
leading up
change in
to
the
that.
music.
Yeah, that's
Triple
the
X was
change in
the
the
icing on
music.
the Triple X was the icing on the cake. Triple X hit the 27 to 23 year olds. Our
Hmm.
future hit the fucking 14 to 22 year olds. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that just took, and then Kid Cudi, they got the younger generation too.
Fucking Kid Cudi.
All
Mhm.
these guys got all these fans. And people are now
I'm gonna
going
tell
to
you,
shows. That's where they're making money.
I almost quit when Kid Cudi came out. I'm gonna tell you that for a fact, man, because I hate
I
Kid
like
Cudi.
I like the that Day and Night song. I didn't know he's a rapper though.
Oh, he
Then I
sucked.
heard
Exactly. Well, that's my point. Thank you, Lukey. You just said it. That's my
he was
fucking
singing.
point. He is not a fucking rapper, but they were like, oh yeah, you heard this rapper. Like that was the whole narrative. Oh yeah, this new Kid Cudi album. He's a rapper type shit. And it was like, man, fuck that. Whatever. I was listening to Two Chains. Let's talk about Two Chains. Let's talk about the rest of good music. Let's talk about Pusha T. Because these are the people
Some of them
during
Pusha
this
T albums was
era.
whack.
Oh,
With the
most.
yes,
There's no,
Two
let's
Chains
not
was
beat around
funny.
the bush.
Two Chains was Titty Boy around there, but we have also other groups that were more important than them coming up in
Good
2012.
music
Also,
in general.
2000. I mean, the Kid Cudi thing is a lot of depressed,
Yep.
wealthy
Yeah.
white kids
Yep.
love
Yep.
Kid Cudi.
Absolutely.
People that have prescription drug pill
Prescription drugs, people. Thank you, Lukey.
I'm not even joking though. I'm this really
You
that
know
shit was
you're not.
Oxys.
That's
yeah, there you
absolutely
go.
correct.
Yeah. I said I get it popping like white kids pop Oxycontin. And that was
Wow.
definitely after hearing a kid do Oxycontin, did love Kid Cudi, and he talked about something about Intergalactic or something like, oh yeah, you like Kid Cudi? Nah.
No.
Anyway, boom. Let's go. Okay.
Future started coming up this era too. But he's
Yeah,
starting
definitely
to make rumblings.
Okay, boom. 2012, one of the best albums I've ever heard in my life. Reloaded by Rock Marciano came out.
Okay.
Another album I didn't like
Incredible
that
album.
much. Yeah, definitely. But another album that I thought was cool because the album cover and what it symbolized, but I didn't like the album. Life is Good by Nas.
Life is Good. Lil, I like Life is Good. It only had 3 songs on it, but I like Life is Good.
Yeah, it's a lot of skipping. Good Kid, Mad City. Mike Tyson. Sean Price is at it
Sean
again.
Price.
Yep,
Yep.
Sean Price.
Cool Summer.
Sean Price.
Cool Summer.
Currency. Currency.
Yeah.
How have we not talked about Currency yet?
We have talked about Currency. I said Pilot Talk 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah,
That's the
because
start
he
of
was
his
holding
empire.
us down. Weekend at
Indeed.
Bernie's, I think, came out in 2012. Planet
I'm not sure.
Asia,
I remember down.
still in the mix.
Joey
Definitely
Badass,
holding it down.
1999.
Yep.
Joey Badass, 1999.
Yeah, Joey
Slaughterhouse.
Sky Zoo.
Big Crit.
Mhm.
Yeah. Sky
Dream
Zoo.
Deferred.
Big
Shout
Crit.
out Sky Zoo, man. Please
Mhm.
shout out Sky Zoo. Because
Yep.
he's
Indeed.
another dude that is currently in the era. He can pop up and this era is kind of the results of him saying that no, I'm gonna stay true to this sound. So shout out to Sky Zoo, man. Absolutely.
He was around with Little Brother when they were on their
Yep,
run as
he
well.
sure the fuck was. Absolutely.
Also, we have to understand that around this time is when Sky Zoo is writing all your favorite rappers, all the mainstream rapper songs. He's writing their songs.
Ghostwriting for everybody.
Yeah, that shit's wild as fuck. So
Like who?
He has NDAs, bro, but we can only guess. I think for a fact, I know he did it for Lil Wayne. You know
That's what's up.
Because he signed one of my records and they said, yeah, I'll be there for Wayne. I'm like, I know you're going to be backstage with Wayne. Why are you going to be? Yeah. Why are you going to be backstage with Lil Wayne? Oh, because we want some of his music. I don't know, man. Boom.
Well, hold on. If we're going to say Sky Zoo, shout out Apollo Brown. Shout out OC because they had a dope
Torre.
album that came out. Torre, yup, they definitely was doing their thing right around then.
I was getting there though. It was in
Okay, I'm sorry. Don't let me step on your toes, bro. I'm sorry.
2014, the Barrel Brothers. Isn't that Torre and Skyzoo?
Skyzoo, yeah.
Barrel Brothers. I'm saying, but no, you ain't stepping on my toes at all. Pretty much, I'm just like saying, I'm just trying to go.
Wordsworth. If we're gonna say Skyzoo, let's say Wordsworth too. Shout out Wordsworth.
There's a lot of good music out there. When hip hop is dead, you just had to like know where to get it. But this stuff is this
Open Mike Eagle.
Stuff. Yeah, there you go. There's a lot of good stuff.
Man. Shit.
A$AP
Rock.
Yeah.
Can't forget A$AP Rock. A$AP Rock, I feel like, is another one that kind of gets left in the rubble of the destroyed era, right? Of the forgotten era.
Rhyme sayers and stuff like that.
Rhyme sayers, man. Rhyme sayers was out there putting in work, man. Like, and I think that was, unfortunately, they got caught up in the stigma of the backpacker. You know what I mean? That I think prejudiced a lot of people that were either quote unquote old heads at that point or new listeners from wanting to embrace what was coming out. Yeah, it was a purgatory. Being a quote unquote a backpacker, being somebody, a boom bapper, like how K Burns was saying. You know what I mean? Like it kind of was a negative stigma that stuck on people. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't this when Run the Jewels first came out too?
We haven't got there yet.
God damn, I'm ahead of time. I'm sorry, Lukey. Let me shut up, man.
That was the
Master
next
Ace.
year.
Shout out Master Ace.
True indeed.
Master Ace, another one that always keeps it funky for us. And let's talk about Slaughterhouse. Can we segue and talk about Slaughterhouse and how they kind of let us down with their album Slaughterhouse?
Yeah, we can just sum it up and say it wasn't good. It wasn't. That's why.
All right, cool. Never mind. As long as you agree with me, I'm cool. I thought I was alone in thinking that.
It was the single wasn't that good either. Oh no! They had one single, the microphone. That was cool. The microphone single. That was okay, but the other one,
it was only okay.
Not good.
Yeah, they sucked.
Yeah, I was like, how can all these people be on one album and not be good? But also 2012
Shout
was
out
the
Joel
introduction.
Ortiz.
There you go. Beamer's Business Bentley or whatever. That was pretty cool. His remix of that.
Lloyd Banks.
2012 was very significant as well. We are on iTunes, and that's the introduction. I had the SD-NAC. The Quakers dropped the album.
We talked about that on our interview with him, actually.
True indeed. The Quakers. That's when the first time I heard SD-NAC, and he was dropping mad knowledge in science and math on that song. You know what I'm saying? So that was a big
shout out
year
Strong Arm Steady too, because they were actually
like Strong Arm Steady.
I gotta argue that. I feel like Strong Arm Steady was supposed to be the better version of Slaughterhouse.
I didn't like their beats either. Like
they had terrible beats. Their beats were not very good. Sorry, Static Selector. Your beat selection for them was not good. Static Selector, shout out Static Selector for trying to do things. But yeah, Strong Arm Steady could have been way doper. Mitchie Slick, Crondon, like they were spitting. Yeah, Feel the Agony. They were spitting. Spitters.
Indeed.
You can never ever disrespect their names. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Lukey. Lukey, you got the notes. Keep going with your notes, Lukey.
True indeed. Boom, boom. I'm trying my hardest here. Pause. 2013, we have Doris by Earl. Didn't really like it. Yeezus dropped. Didn't like it. Jay-Z Magna Carta dropped. Didn't like it. Wait, hold on.
2013 was Yeezus?
Yes. Didn't like it.
So how did we get to this point without us talking about Lupe Fiasco then?
I don't know.
Because Lupe, if we're going to talk about Yeezus, just
the cool,
and again,
Lasers was whack.
Lasers was definitely trash. But just talking as a Chicago rapper, and we talking about Yeezus. Before Yeezus came out, I think Food and Liquor 2 came out.
Food and Liquor first. Also, then came out The Cool.
The Cool was before that. Yeah, and The Cool was a dope album. Lupe Fiasco was definitely holding it down and spitting, representing for dope MCs, like really being on some rapper shit during 2011, 2012, 2010. Lupe Fiasco was definitely certified. So
The first
shout
album
out Lupe.
I liked.
Yeah, the first album was dope.
Low key,
Super
but it
dope.
gave me Kid Cudi vibes as far as the soundscaping.
He was the better version of Kid Cudi. Like Kid Cudi was too soft and drugged out, prescription drugged out. Lupe Fiasco was actually a rapper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he was actually a spitter. Like that kick push.
Definitely loved it.
The Emperor's song. Oh my God, the Emperor's anthem. I only fear God. Yeah, that's man.
Yeah,
I'm
like
trying to tell you,
definitely.
Lupe is serious,
I
man.
think I
You know,
wrote
shout
down
out to that man.
any of them joints, but Sob Stories came out for Action Bronson. They really put him over the top.
Oh, I like Sob
I hit
Stories.
you with the drop
shit.
kick. What Janetti? What's the dude with the wrestling guy? I hit you with the drop kick.
Oh, I know the version. I know what you're saying. Yeah, I don't know what
Charlie
I can't
Janetti. I forget. Yeah, I forget.
Yeah, whatever you said. Yeah,
album.
besides, and that was shout out Harry Fraud, right? That was the first kind of Harry Fraud rising up, right?
True indeed. There you go.
Shout out Harry Fraud, man. I think Harry Fraud deserves credit. You know, he's definitely been a dude that has stayed true to his sound and has worked hard on trying to keep the relevance on a certain sound, man. Even when he gets those placements with those bigger artists, he still is keeping it kind of funky and grimy, man. So shout out Harry Fraud, man.
He's like, he's not like the Alchemist, but like the Alchemist.
Mookie, you are a genius. God damn it. Yeah, he's like the Alchemist. Exactly. That makes so much sense.
It's parallels. It's a different sound, but the sound, the sonicness of it, it's like, it's similar to me.
I agree.
It's very clear, 100%. But it's something familiar but new. Not something,
100%. Something 100%, Mookie. Absolutely.
Acid rap. Didn't like it. Action
oh my God.
On there.
I hate Chance the Rapper so much. Chance the Rapper is an industry plant.
No.
Yeah, thank you, Carl. See, that's why you legit. Chance the Rapper. Like, look.
I hate Chance the Rapper. Are you thinking or you froze?
No, I think he froze. That was great. He left us on a cliffhanger. He had a big point too.
Yeah, he did, yo. Word. Let me get to the rest of these albums and get to the ones I actually like. To Primo's dad, credit, he had said Run the Jewels when we on 2012. Run the Jewels came out in 2013.
Yeah.
Album I love.
You also had another
Trap
Danny
Lord.
Brown release.
Definitely old. I didn't like that album. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit, what happened? Oh, he has to come back. There you go.
See, the powers that be tried to mute me because I was talking about they boy.
Chance the Rapper.
Fuck Chance the Rapper, and I say it 2 times. Fuck Chance the Rapper. He trashed. Everything he make was garbage. Anyway,
he had a couple good songs.
No, it's all trash.
But Lukey mentioned that 2013 was when Run the Jewels came out, which you were just a year early. So
Macklemore came out in 2012.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, keep moving.
Yep.
Machine Gun Kelly came out in 2012.
What album was that?
I don't know. Fuck it. I mean, it's Machine Gun Kelly. Who cares? Yeah. Thank you, Carl. But Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City, which was
I said that.
a good album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that came out. That was good.
We're in 2013 now with Acid Rap. And that's why you said fuck Chance the Rapper.
Yeah, fuck Chance the Rapper, man. Moving on.
Bodie James.
Yeah, shout out Bodie James.
My first chemistry set.
My first chemistry set. Yeah.
Childish Gambino. Because of the internet.
Oh, please. Before we move on, 2 more honorable mentions from 2012. Yep.
Okay.
Apollo Brown and Guilty Simpson. The Dice Game was a dope album. Sean Price, Mike Tyson came out.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, you did.
You said it prior to that. Yeah, you said it prior to that. So that's cool, though. I mean, same time. But, I think that's a main thing we got to talk about. And Mr. Motherfucking Esquire. We have to talk about that Power and Passion. But
I didn't like that album.
Yeah, you may not have liked it.
He switched his style.
But yeah, that's cool. But that's what I was going to say. Here we go. there was
He got
this
signed.
pocket.
It's for the child. Go ahead. Yeah.
Correct. Exactly. There was this pocket of Brooklyn shit that was going on. Knife Wonder did a joint with Buckshot, The Solution, but Knife Wonder also did something with Murs. Again, shout out Murs. But then Sean Price, I think, put out
Lukey's
an
not shouting
album
him out.
also.
Lukey said no.
No, don't shout him out.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
shout out
man.
Murs, but this I just don't dig Murs. I mean, I
Yeah,
tried.
that's real. You can't. I mean, it's real. He's polarizing. But all right, fine. If we're not going to say that, let me just say one name.
You can say it. You can say it because definitely he's
Let
there.
me
Yeah.
just. Okay, yeah, I'm never going to not give Murs his flowers. But let me say one more name from 2012 before we move on that changed the landscape. Chief Keef. But anyway, keep going.
True indeed. He did change the landscape for a lot of stuff, a lot of gang shit,
Chief Keef.
a lot of music. The drill came to the forefront.
The game put out some more mid-grade bullshit.
What
anyway.
is that? That was in 2012, Chief Keef.
Yeah, Finally Rich. That's when he came out.
When Kanye took his, that's the shit I don't like.
Man, boy, I hate that song so much. Have I ever said that? I don't like so much.
But that came out 2012.
Chief Keef put out the album Finally Famous in 2012. And it was right at the end of 2012. After, might I add, Future put out an album that year as well. Future, obviously he's on the rise. But let me see. Finally Famous came out. It was his Instagram or his Interscope debut. And he had, I don't like, not the remix, but the original was on there. But Love Sosa, which was crazy.
You like that song?
Who didn't like Love Sosa? That shit was
Sosa. That was such a ghetto video. All he did was on a show.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
No shirt on. Yeah.
Look, that shit. That was that era in. Again, I have to speak as a Chicagoan. That era of exposure that was given to the Chicago scene. You just saw a bunch of grimy little South Side dudes in random ass 2-flats, shirtless, swinging a little bogus dreads, hanging out, exposing the brotherhood that existed in the trenches, and America ate it up. Ate it up.
A video that I saw, a young drill rapper, he's a young kid, Little Mouse.
Fucking Mouse.
The
11-9 Little Mouse. God damn it.
Now check it out. Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill.
Yeah.
He beat Little Mouse. Fuck around,
fuck around,
you fuck around, get smoked.
Fuck around, get smoked. Exactly. That was Little Mouse. That's right.
On this new album that me, Primo Jab, Carl, Mondo Slade, Lean, and all those guys are on, I said I might shoot a dude and do the money dance like Little Mouse. He said
the money dance comes actually from King Louis and from Boss Wu. Shout out all them motherfucking East Side guys. You know what I mean? That's real. The real drillers. You know what I mean? But anyway, I digress.
The money dance. Yeah, do the money dance, yo. So boom, that's definitely a Chicago
money
reference.
Dance.
Yeah, he's actually doing the money dance on the video.
The money dance.
Little Mouse was like 12 years old or 11 years old, talking about fuck around when I fuck around, get smoked.
Get smoked, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. Look, when Little Mouse came out, people were they were assured that society's collapse was 2 weeks away.
Real shit.
I'm trying to tell you, because he was a 12-year-old and they were like, oh my God, this guy's talking about this? Like, oh yeah. But the funny part is that, he just really put a face onto shit that has been going on in Chicago and probably every major city, especially in the Midwest, for years. The kids be hopping off the porch at 8, 9, 10 years old, man, and they are out
done
there
with it.
bogus.
17, 18, they
bogus.
done. Ain't no game no more.
Man, I'm 21 years old, man. I'm out the game, man. I'm trying to raise a family. Like, what? Yeah, I got 3 kids right now. What? And anyway, man. Man, that was a crazy era. That was a crazy era, man.
It really was.
It really was. It really exposed a lot of the dysfunction of America's backyard to the world. You know what I mean?
Shout out to my cousin-in-law. I call him Dope Reefer, and he's from Chicago. Yeah, Dope Reefer was his name, and he put me on to all that shit. Anyway, Trap Lord came out. Run the Jewels, Childish Gambino, Action Bronson, South Story. That's about it for 2013. Let's go to 2014. Oxymoron came out, which is a really good album, and it had a lot of dark.
Did you miss
Yes.
Ghostface Killer? 12 Reasons to Die.
Yes, I did
Intentionally.
Yeah. Thanks, Carl.
I did. That's another dope collab with Adrian Young.
Adrian Young, yes. Carl, as somebody who is an instrumentalist, as somebody who is actually a performer who plays music, a musician who uses musical instruments, what did you think about that era, about that collaboration?
I mean, I thought it was dope. It was one that I had kind of backtracked to, so I wasn't aware of it when it first came out. But yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, I love live instruments. There's a difference to me. You know, I'm a fan of sampling, don't get me wrong, but when I hear like live instruments, you can tell.
Yeah, you can tell. I think that album absolutely had an essence to it that was totally singular as far as its expression because of the collaboration between Adrian Young and Ghostface. It was, it's. I think it's a classic.
Okay, here's the thing about an album. I'm pretty sure Carl would appreciate it too. Honestly, if Carl would appreciate this album a lot more if he heard it the first go around. I was on tour when that album dropped. I was like 9 days, 8 cities. How about they dropped the first? They had a comic book, 6-issue comic book for I think 12 songs. And the first issue dropped, all sold out across America. Second variant dropped, sold out all across America. So we're going to comic book stores trying to find a fucking issue number 1. And we couldn't find it nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So that was a real like, oh my God, like fuck. Like they didn't press up enough for something. I don't know, yo. But definitely, I forgot about that, Carl. The good bring up.
Good catch.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was really good. But that right there was the resurgence of Ghostface after he kind of like
absolutely
went away for a second, yo.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. I agree with that, Lukey.
Because the music wasn't good anymore. You know what I'm saying?
No, hold on. Prior to that, Ghost had put out, Ghostini in the Land of Poetry, right? He had put out that mixed R&B rap album. And that was the one with one. It was, look, he had some cuts on there. The one, If It's a Girl with Raheem Devon, that shit is, boy, I probably made a kid off of that album, man. Like, I'm trying to tell you, man. Hey, look, that shit is underrated, but it's dope. It's super dope, man. But I agree with you what you're saying. It wasn't like early Ghost. It was, but again, I think that's just another example of
more Fish.
No, but again, that's what I was gonna say.
Tony, all them shits.
I feel like that's an example of how Ghostface was continually at least putting out work during a time when other people kind of forsake the game. Ghost was at least trying.
He was,
Ghost was at least doing stuff. Yeah, he was the face of the Woo for that whole era.
Carl, I don't know how I missed that because I have actually 2 more albums in the next 2 years that actually brought him back into the game. I don't know why I didn't write that down. 2000.
I got you.
Yeah, definitely, man. You my man's, yo. 2014, I had 36 Seasons because that's when AZ kind of came back. AZ's all over that album right there.
Here we go.
Also, 12-step program by the kids under the stairs. People under the stairs. That was
People under the stairs, yeah.
People under the stairs.
Now we're starting to talk about the rise of the Alchemist. If we're going to talk about the people under the stairs, because
he also had,
he was holding it down with him. Go ahead, Carl. I'm sorry.
You also had Pinata with Freddie Gibbs and Madlib.
With Madlib, even though
Freddie Gibbs,
I got some skips on there. That's when he left CTE. CET. CTE is
Well,
when
that was
you get your head busted
was that
in
after
football,
he
right?
just got released from prison, or just he beat the
No,
case in Germany, or was that before
that not
Germany?
even happened. Has that not happened yet?
Okay, I
The
bet.
the rape case, yeah. But
The false
pinata cocaine.
accusations
It was
of the German chick,
it
the
it was
Austrian
supposed
chick.
to it was actually
Shout out
supposed to be
Durag
called.
Dynasty,
Oh yeah, they was around at that time
Planet
as well.
Asia. Yep, Planet Asia.
The album was supposed to be called Cocaine Pinata as well, but they dropped it and just called it Pinata. Word. So indeed. Yeah.
Cocaine Pinata doesn't have the same
I
ring
like
as
it.
Pinata. I like. Yeah, but of course you do. You like cocaine
I never once did cocaine before in my
for
life.
profit, not for use.
I never did personal use.
We're outside. Yeah, we're outside the statute of limitation. It's fine.
I never did it before. I didn't
Look, say you did it. I said you profited off of it.
Yeah. I don't like. Check it out, fellas. I don't like water going in my nose. Let alone. Yeah. Word. Yeah. You can't do that shit.
Hold on. Before we leave this year, can I talk about two important things that happened?
Yes.
Because we're in 2000. We're in 2013.
14.
What year are we in?
14.
Okay. Well, yeah. I don't know how we made it past 2013 without talking about Prodigy and Alchemist Albert Einstein.
Yeah, I didn't write it down either.
One of the illest fucking albums that came out that year. Number one.
Honestly, but that's one of the best collabs of Alchemist as well. He has a really good collab. Yeah.
That's what made people, I think, really start being like, yo, the Alchemist is crazy. I promise you.
Man, what's the point?
Albert Einstein is one of the Alchemists. Bear Meat, Death Sentence with Rock Marciano. Come on, man. Are you serious?
Oh, yo, I was in
with Action Bronson.
Yeah, that's not even good. I said
they dope. Look, that's almost a no skip album. That's almost a no skip album, bro.
What's the joint where he said my Tim's on, basketball shorts and white tee, in the Bible Belt blowing mad weed. My Tim's on, basketball shorts and tall tee, and the Bible Belt blowing mad weed.
Is that on? That's on there.
That's it. Yeah, he talking about.
I don't know, man. He talking a lot of
shoulder.
Shit,
shout out to Little Boost.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I saw a Little Boost. Yeah. What did he say? What song was that, man? I don't know. But anyway, that's on that album.
Yeah. But I went to Puerto Rico and wore basketball shorts and Timbs just for that reason. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, stanking it up. Stanking your body up. But yeah, also shout out Gucci Mane and his continuous dominance during that era as well.
He got locked up right then.
And but he had put out Trap House 3 during that time. And Trap House 3 is that shit. Trap House 3. Yeah, look, man, don't get me started on talking about Future and Gucci Mane and their importance to the game. Yeah, I was in Atlanta. I mean, living in Atlanta, they were very important.
And if you ever at a strip club, records get broke at the strip club. Yeah, records get broke at the strip club. That's even to this. I remember I was in bankruptcy court and they were going through my assets. And I said, I have music, but I don't make money off of it. These are the albums I have, blase. And the magistrate, I should say, said, you ever thought about giving your music to the DJ at the strip club? I was like, no, I don't think I make music for the strip club. And it's like, I'm not saying that you make it for the strip club. I'm saying maybe if you take it there, you can And he said, well, I don't want to take your comic books. I don't want to take your bike. I was like, what? I was like, this dude really telling me to go to the strip club and get my music I'm like, God is real. Yeah, word. Friendly magistrate, yo. Yeah,
hey man, shout out DJ Nando, RIP forever, eternally remembered. DJ Nando is the best because he played my music in the strip club. And I think it's not about making music for the strip club, but it's about if they vibe to your music, then you got something. If a chick want to, forget about what she's doing, that she's dancing butt naked in front of some scum bum, and she's enjoying herself, then you got a hit on your head, boy. And
I need to go to the strip club and give him that song, Chicken Wings in the strip club, Chicken Wings in the strip club.
Is that a 4 Eye song? That's a 4 Eyes song or something,
That was
right?
my song, man.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
4 Eyes make a
It's
lot of songs like that. Baby in the
yeah.
Strip Club and all that type of
I did
shit.
a whole album called. What's it called? Loopy Caves versus Tripperella. It was only on
Yeah,
Bandcamp.
you did. That's right. That's right.
That's one of the. Yeah. Sometimes the servers look better than the strippers. Whenever they do, she brings you your beer.
Sometimes. Damn, you
Make sure
talking
you
that
tip
shit.
her.
You talking that shit. Put that
Yeah.
link in the bio right now. Because
Nah, it's
that's a
not.
fact.
It's really, but it's not. Yeah, I probably need to redo. I didn't rap that well on the joint. Yeah,
Oh,
but
well,
anyway,
okay, then
let's
don't
move
do it.
along. Let's move
Let's
along so
move
we can go
along,
get some
man.
rest.
2015, baby. We in 2015. We
To
almost
pimp,
there.
to Pimp a Butterfly. Also, you have your boy Lupe Fiasco with
The
dreadlocks
Pimp a
now.
Butterfly sucked. Let's
I
just
mean,
be
boom, it's
honest.
one
It
of.
sucked.
I didn't
It
listen to it.
had
I can't front.
2 or 3 songs on it, but
I ain't
otherwise
listen
it
to it.
sucked. Yeah, of
I'm
course you
not
did,
a
because it
Kendrick
sucked.
fan. I'm not a Kendrick fan. I ain't listened to DS2.
Kendrick benefited from the mainstream embracing him and saying, you're the real underground guy. You're woke. We're gonna support you.
I don't think so. I think J. Cole took that role
Man,
later
boy,
on.
J. Cole.
I'm not with
boy,
it.
he is.
Yeah.
J. Cole sucks. Have I ever said that on this podcast? Let me just say that. Like, I'm not a fan of J.
I don't
Cole.
think he's bad. I don't think he's bad
he's
either.
good though.
Let's continue. Tetsuo in the Youth by Lupe Fiasco. DS2 by Future.
Carl, you got to
6.
shut me up sometimes, man. I see you over there. You just sitting there like, I can't believe these guys are saying this. But okay, keep going.
The Barter 6. The Barter 6 is Young Thug. Yeah.
Yeah, Young Thug. Fucking Young Thug.
Before the money, was I didn't like that much. It was
Is that Danny Glover, Young Thug? Because Danny Glover is that shit. I say boo, I love her. Yeah, that was that shit.
I ain't listen to it, yo. Before the Money, Joey Badass. Mr. Wonderful with your boy Chance the Rapper on the album, yo.
That shit sucked. Well, no, that song with Chance the Rapper was actually okay. That's the only song I like from Chance the Rapper that gets any spins in my whip. That's only it.
Yeah,
Other
funny.
than that, he gets no play in my ride.
So indeed, Czarface, Every Hero Needs a Villain. That's the
First
resurgence
album.
of that's the resurgence of Inspector Deck. That was pretty good.
Talking.
Also,
look, Inspector Deck teaming up with 7L and Esoteric. And shout out 7L and Esoteric for all their work that they were doing prior to that. But for them to decide, we need
Complex.
This is the collaboration that the world needs. Oh man, the world has been better ever since. I feel like that might be one of the seeds that sparked the new Renaissance. I feel like people were like, okay, that's dope. Inspector Deck's coming out and spitting this shit and collaborating with some underground people. It opened people's eyes to the new possibilities that could exist.
But
it was an expansion of the nerd rap too.
Yes. Yeah. But the formula the Esoteric put out as far as selling merch, because it's basically I saw a document,
comic books, all that stuff, action figures, all that,
t-shirts,
lunch boxes,
the formula,
all that. Yep.
They dropped the ultimate formula. Boom. The album comes out 2 months. You buy it right now, pre-order. The pre-order means you're not buying it now and getting it 2 months later. You're getting it this week.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you have it before it drops on streaming services. And you can take a picture of it, blase. Esoteric 7L Czarface movement has put in the blueprint for, I think, every artist who has the product in their hand to put it out there. Now, I know some people don't have the product in their hand to begin, but they have a perfect formula to get the merchandise out of there. Everything. But now, this shit's in Zoomies, in Journeys.
Yeah.
So it's easier. Esoteric don't gotta package it up itself anymore. So
I think we take it for granted the fact that they're in stores like Zoomies and Journeys, right? But that was a big deal seeing those designs in those stores. It meant something. Like, that's a huge move for hip hop at that point in time. I think we can't talk enough about Czarface and that changing point. That's another inflection point of hip hop right then and there. Yeah,
merch.
that's
This
when
is the
merch was
merch.
like,
This is the merch era
you can
now.
make some
This
money
is
off of this. Yeah,
true indeed. So that's another
absolutely.
reason why 2015 is another big Kai dropped that year as well.
Two
Was that
releases
when
from Ghostface.
say who?
Two releases from Ghostface Killer.
Which ones?
Sour Soul and who? Sour Soul and what else?
And 12 Reasons to Die 2.
Oh, 12 Reasons Part 2.
To Die too. I didn't like that.
Part two was only okay. I was gonna actually say
too many features. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that speaking more so about the merch and the power of actually being a hand-to-hand independent seller, we have to talk about Nipsey Hussle, right? Because Nipsey Hussle also was existing in this era, and that's I think when he was selling the $100 marathon tapes, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah,
but that sparked a lot of bullshit
that
as
means
well.
something too. Yeah, but that means something though, because that also signifies the transition from
False.
using these. Where's the pause there? I don't understand. But
Trans.
see, he's a pause addict. He's a pause addict.
Trans.
What? I said transition. But anyway, but I think people were looking at, okay, you can get this fast food, right? You can get these digital streaming. I can download whatever songs available, iTunes, Spotify was just starting around then, right? Mm-hmm. But Nipsey was saying, no, I'm not putting none of my music on there. I'm releasing these solid physical releases. You can pay me $100. You can get this. And people were like, bet, I'm copping. Yeah, exactly. Jay-Z co-signed it and was like, you know what? Yeah, I like this model. But I'm into that.
That shit was free on that Piff, though.
Shout out that Piff. How do we make it this far without talking about that Piff, man? Shout out that Piff, man, for supporting all of us and keeping us with every new mixtape that came out, man. We could probably spend another 3.5 hours talking about everything that came out on that Piff. R.I.P. that Piff, because they just closed it. You know, they just shut it down like a week ago.
Live mixtapes as well. But
live mixtape.com.
The Bandcamp era is what still we're on. Before we get to the last year that I got on here is 2016.
Yeah, that's it. That's the final year.
True indeed. Life of Pablo fooled us all. Because I heard No More Parties in LA.
I love that song.
I was like,
fucking love that song.
I was like, Kanye's back. And he said the writer's block is over and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yo.
Yep. And then the rest of the album was pure huff. It was so much trash on that album, man. It's like it had 17 songs and only 3 of them were decent.
True indeed.
You know what I mean?
One was
depending on your listening.
Beautiful Morning. I love that song. You don't like
that song? Beautiful Morning is cool. I like Fade personally because of the house music on it. Like I think that's a dope ass song. But absolutely, yeah, No More Parties in LA is the shit. That's you can't. That's an undeniable song. Dope song. Yeah, that's an undeniably dope song. Period.
Yeah. Also, what else? A Tribe Called Quest. We got it from here. I love that.
I never heard that album. I never heard it.
There's no Ali Shaheed Muhammad. It's all Q-Tip producing. So it's part of Tribe Called Quest.
Is Spice on it?
Yes. He's all over that album.
Okay. I'm going to check it out then. R.I.P. Fight. We miss you, man. We love you.
Run the Jewels 3. Also, this is the height of Flatbush Zombies. 3001 Lace Odyssey.
Okay.
That dropped, and that was a pretty good album. There's a lot of rapping. I was surprised. There's a lot of rapping because there's not a lot of hooks in there. So there's a lot of rapping. So that's what I appreciated about that album. The beats were pretty good as well. Michi Darko was like ODB and Danny Brown together with a deeper voice. Mm-hmm. And they were all 3 rapping. Juice, his voice is like mad high. I don't even know. He sounds kind of like a drugged out West Side Gun.
What happened to Flatbush Zombies?
They're still around, but they're not.
Why are they not prospering in this new Renaissance era?
Because they're kind of stuck between ASAP Mob and another. They're in limbo. They're not as cool as ASAP Mob.
I'll give you a hot take. Flatbush Zombies are gentrification on racks. On wax, excuse me. They are gentrification.
Just 3 black guys.
They're gentrification. I said what I said.
Explain yourself then.
They are Flatbush Zombies are the soundtrack to gentrification because they make being underground and being dope and being ill digestible for a generation that never really understood or appreciated the dope aesthetic of the core of hip hop. They are hip hop ish, right? Now, they themselves, the actual Flatbush Zombie performers, sure, they were inspired by whoever they were inspired by. I'm sure they were inspired by legacy
drugs.
artists. But yeah, exactly. They were so wrapped up and
LSD.
bundled in the drug culture, right? That's the gentrification. And again, we talked about it earlier, but I feel like that's the shift that we're talking about, right? When these prescription drugs started coming into the culture and started becoming the narrative of the culture, that's when you had a whole lot of different people, more affluent, not urban individuals that were embracing the culture and saying, this is what's hot.
Those guys for that album.
This is what's hot. I'm not blaming it on them. I'm saying that they were the precursor of it. I'm saying that they are the ones that inadvertently led to that.
Is LSD a popular drug?
Gentrification on wax.
Is LSD a popular drug in the black community?
No.
There you go. So that's how I kind of agree with you with that, but I don't, because those guys do that drugs. That's the drug that they want to do. That's the drug that they promote. Correct?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Again, we would be remiss without mentioning another phenomenon that started rising right around this
Molly.
time. Molly, of course, but Rolling Loud. Rolling Loud. Rolling Loud. All right? Rolling Loud as a festival became a safe haven, became a place for those enthusiasts of those specific drugs to be able to come and hear people performing that activated that particular vibration. And that's what happened. The rise of the Rolling Loud sound, starting in probably the end of 2015, especially, but 2016 absolutely heavily. Anybody who was on Rolling Loud, any of that type of shit, that vibration, that sound, gentrification on wax.
What up? And also 2016 is when Fly God dropped, and we saw a different shift in music from then on. We can talk about the Griselda influence later coming through here, but I like to say this before we go on. I always talked about Little Brother. Ghetto Socks, Treat of the Day. He had a song called Pink Lemonade. I loved it. I found out about Ghetto Socks on Vice. The Vice.
Oh, how do we make it this far without talking about Vice? That's crazy.
Yeah, Vice.
That's also gentrification.
But low key.
But it wasn't. Vice got gentrified.
There you go. You can say that. Vice.
It definitely did.
Put a lot on. A lot of good stuff came from Vice. A lot of good programming came from Vice as well.
Absolutely.
The change of ownership.
I don't think it was the change of ownership, Lukey. I think, unfortunately, Vice editorial staff, I think, maybe might have changed because the ownership remained the same, but the stuff that was kind of like the secondary, third thoughts of Vice, right? Where it was about the drug culture and it was about the wild random bullshit, which was the outside of the Vice, right? But the inside of the Vice was actually these compelling stories, and people were really like, oh yeah, this is cool. You're telling these things that nobody really knows about.
Yeah, that's what the cool thing about Vice.
Yeah, that was the cool thing about it, right? But there were drugs there. Okay, yeah, but that was secondary. That wasn't what the cool thing was. But then again, like I said, the affluent drug users started picking up on it, and it became gentrified. So then you saw the gentrified version of Vice starting to pick up.
But didn't Vice have Action Bronson on there first? Or the show? They had a lot of good programming on there. That's why I had
a lot of good Yeah, absolutely.
So indeed. Keep going, man. 2013 again, Ghetto Sox dropped For You Pretty Things. Also, I like to have the run of Jay Dilla, Champion Sound 2003, Donuts 2006. He passed. 2006 was The Shiny and The Rough Draft in 2007. The Ghostface run was Pretty Tony 2004, Fish Scale 2006, More Fish 2006, The Big Doe Rehab 2007, Ghostini Poetries when it kind of like was going downhill. 2009, 2010 was Apollo Kids. That's when he had the resurgence in 2012 with the For Reason to Die that I forgot that Carl put everybody onto. Thank you, Carl, for that. Also, let's go to Black Milk, who had albums that were good, but weren't that great. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out Black Milk, absolutely.
Sound of the City, 2005, loved it. Pop of the Man, 2007. Tronic, Overdose, Jesus, 2008. Album of the Year, 2010. Black and Brown, him and Danny Brown, 2012. The song, Thick Bitch, Sippin' Thick Nigga Like, Thick, what's that? Thick Bitch, Thick White Bitch, Surf a Nigga Like Kirby. But they said they're 19 and they all look 30. Kind of come in the same bag can't come in the same bag as a turkey. Man, Danny Brown's going off. 2011 was Black and Brown. Then we got to go back 2008, Caltroit. Two skips in there, but Bishop Lamont, Black Milk, Caltroit, Detroit, and California. Little Brother had a hell of a run too.
Shout out Random Acts, man. Please, we
Random
cannot,
Acts, Guilty Simpson,
we cannot
and
talk about Guilty Simpson and Sean Price. The unification between those two. Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Like we can't go forward without mentioning them.
Mm-hmm. Sean Price had a hell of a run.
Sean Price, absolutely. Run. We know that. Guilty Simpson, Ninth Wonder, Buckshot, people that was holding shit down. You know what I mean? Ninth Wonder after Little Brother when he was branching out. Planet Asia, absolutely Planet Asia.
From like what, 2002? I think.
Oh, he's still going.
Maybe before that. And he is. He's still going.
And he's still out here doing his goddamn thing, man. Shout out Planet Asia. Come on the show, man. Stop ducking my DMs.
Hey, yo, there's a lot of people out there who have stopped rapping. You know what I'm saying? To do something else or whatever. I remember this dude, like the album name we got, Collusive Partisans. Everybody in that shit except me and Dread Eye don't do this shit no more. The dude named the Red Fox, he played the guitar now. Planet Asia been rapping, still rapping, and it's still fresh. That's talent right there. Let's go to Little Brother. Little Brother from The Listening, 2003, 2005. 2004 was connected with Fonte. Sleepers was in 2005 by Big Pooh. The Minstrel Show came out in 2005, no skips. Get Back, 2007. The Chitlin Circuit was a great mixtape. 2004, 2006, Separate But Equal. They had a great run. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 albums that was like dope. The Justice League, period. Legacy, Sean Don.
Yeah, the Justice League. Absolutely.
Just Us.
Rick Ross. They were actually doing a lot of work for Rick Ross, keeping their name. Yeah, Justice League. They were doing a lot of work for Rick Ross.
That's the different Justice League. Justice League, I'm talking about.
Wait, hold on. They're not the same ones?
No.
That's not the same Justice League?
That's not the same people. The Justice.
I thought that was the same people.
The Hall of Justice. Yeah. Big Doe and those guys. Those are the guy who helped start the Justice League, Caesar Comanche.
See, boy, I haven't heard that name in forever. See, that's how you know that you an ill motherfucker, man. When somebody say your name, you're like, oh, yeah, that's right. Because absolutely, shout out Caesar Comanche, man. Period. Real live ill motherfucking MC. Damn. Absolutely.
Paper Gods. That's the album. Yeah, Paper Gods. That was a good album, yo.
Bookie, you just fucked me. You fucked me up, man.
When I'm by myself. Yeah.
I really thought that Rick Ross had been like, yo,
That's not the same Justice
I
League.
really like these Little Brother albums. I'm gonna go ahead and get the Justice League to start producing my albums. I
He
really
did have
thought
a
that
lot of
was
good, smooth production, but that's not
yeah.
the
He
same
had
Justice
man,
League.
Rick Ross was killing for a second, man.
It
He
spelled,
had like back to back
yeah,
albums that were like actually decent, right?
it was
With beat
spelled
wise.
different. It's spelled different. It's spelled differently. If you go
Damn,
to
I thought that
Google,
was
you
the
probably
same one, man. Fuck, man. Damn, man. Thanks,
truly
Lukey.
did. What
Thanks a
word?
lot.
My bad. So
Crush
boom, and
my dreams.
the other run I had was the Tanya Morgan run with Moonlighting, Sunset, Sunlighting. Tanya Morgan's a rap group mixtape. Then you had Brooklyn Natty. But then when Rubber Souls came out and they only had two members, it was over with for me, yo. It wasn't the same. Ilyas left the group. They left. Move Forward. They went on tour to the UK. Came back. Ilyas left the group. Move Forward Music dropped him, I guess, and it hasn't been the same since. Even though Von P and Don Will, they still got some good music, but it's not the same as the three. They were the nerdy, regular guy, little brother Locks to me, yo. But
Wow,
they
that's
were like
major.
three guys all spitting. People didn't like Don Will. I don't know why. I don't know who, but I love Don Will. Don Will, yeah. He said, I don't, yeah. They had some pretty, really good music. Brooklyn Natty is because Von P's from Brooklyn and Ilyas and Don Will are from Cincinnati. So Brooklyn Natty, yo, it was a great album, yo. So boom, that run was really special to me back then. That concludes my 5 pages of notes. Yeah. So boom, I didn't want to take them because I wanted to feel organic with them, but I knew I was going to forget, and Primo and Carl was going to hold me down. But I wrote that shit down. I think this is a really important episode.
It's valuable.
It shows you, yes, definitely for y'all
There's
to go
a
back
lot
and
of music,
listen.
man. Please
Yes.
go back and listen, man. Go search for yourselves, man. We didn't even mention a lot of people, man.
We didn't
There's
even
a
talk
lot
about
of people
nonfiction.
that
Billy
we
Woods,
nonfiction.
Ill
Thank
Bill.
you,
Billy
thank
Woods.
you, thank
Yep.
you.
Also, you can't forget another guy who's mega rich right now, who I stayed away from his music, even though his beats was hard. And if we didn't have these beats, I wouldn't like Mr. Motherfucker Esquire. Necro.
Yeah, Ill Bill, Necro.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's a Necro beat that Mr. Motherfucker Esquire sampled for.
That's that Brooklyn shit, though, man.
Yeah,
that's that Brooklyn shit, man. Like I said, man, there was a time when Brooklyn definitely became this insular home of just homegrown hip hop. And it had its own regional sound, and it was fighting against the rise of the regional sound of Atlanta, because you had Future and Gucci Man going crazy during those times, right? The trap sound was really taking over, but Brooklyn was holding it down. Absolutely. Absolutely. And not only that, you had the drill sound that was starting, all that Chicago shit. Steve, King Louis, you know what I mean? Lil Reese, Dirk, the Baby Dirk.
Trap took it
all
over,
that
though.
shit.
Trap.
Yeah.
Everybody started doing trap. Then the radios all started playing
shit.
trap. And that's when they was like, oh, hip hop is definitely gone. But
Hip-hop
the deal is
gone.
you have to find
right.
it. You have to find a
You gotta
different
do
way
your
to
homework,
consume
man.
it. And it's easy. Everything's at your fingertips. Go ahead, Carl.
So I will say I kind of feel like somebody that was trying to take somebody's pulse, but because I don't know how to do it, I pronounce them dead. Like I was baffled. I knew as we were going through this and I'm looking at some of the albums, they were albums I've researched because I went back. But I was amazed to see how many of those that I hadn't thought about. You know what I mean? That like there was every year there was outstanding work that's been put out.
Yep.
And people that definitely need that recognition. And especially the ones that are still doing it. That's to me that's amazing.
True indeed. But everything is at your fingertips. A lot of people, I know, shout out to Brock Landis. He didn't even want to give people his email address because he thought it was like a phone number. So a lot of people were not really acquainted or ready to use the computer as a tool to find things. Now you shop on the computer. Now you do your taxes on the computer. Nowadays you find your phone on the computer. You track stuff on the computer, so it's easier to find and digest the music because you can find the food you want to eat easily.
Mm-hmm.
But back then, it's like the beats. Oh, the RZA beats that sounded so weird because he had to transfer from analog to digital, and it was a time process to get acquainted to those new tools. I think it took some of us a good 10 years to find a way to consume this music easier. And now the 30 somethings, the 40 somethings, the 50 somethings are finding it easier to access this music. And it just so happens that kids are finding this music. And you got JT McKinley, Josh the author, and others finding this music easily, and they like it and they love it.
And they're utilizing, the true advantages of social media and internet with things like Reddit and finding those like groups. So as soon as you have, an older brother that puts you onto, or a friend that puts you onto this lane, you then search out as a, somebody that's under 30, you start searching out those Reddit groups and looking for other people of that like mind, and it helps. So I think it's going to, it gives me a lot of hope that stream is going to open back up to be a really big river again.
So indeed, it has the mouth. The mouth is open. It's like the fucking. It's like the fucking.
I'm about to send you to rehab, man. I'm gonna send you to rehab.
Pause
man.
rehab.
Yeah. It's like the Mississippi.
They're just going to show like flashcards of inappropriate
Don't
shit.
You say it.
And
Don't you
like,
say it. Sock him. Oh, pause.
Start shaking and shit. Yeah. But the avenue or the lane in this hip hop has just gotten bigger and bigger. And low key, I think finally, Westside Gunn, Conway, and Benny have transitioned out.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And so now there's a new wave coming up that people are finding. Every day I'm seeing more likes on the Reddit page for Umbrella. So it's like there's a new wave, a new sensation is coming. And people are digesting this music. I don't see what we have about a good 15 years left for people buying vinyl. 10. Yeah, I think we got a good amount of time for people actually to digest these three mediums of art form: tape, CDs, and vinyl. Then after that, we have T-shirts, hoodies. We're still gonna always have that. You're still gonna have, we're still gonna always have that. So it's looking up. Hip hop was never dead. It just had to. You just had to go to that restaurant, find that restaurant to eat, and that restaurant wasn't really next to you. But now it's in every household. It's your computer. It's your phone. So it's easier to find this music in this lane. So, there you have it.
Facts.
That's a big fact, Lukey.
Wait, Carl, go ahead. I mean, what we got? My bad.
No, go, Carl.
No, I mean, I think this is definitely a valuable episode. I think, it definitely will allow some people that really got into the lane, post 2015, to really kind of, understand that there is a huge catalog to go back to of relevant quality, boom bap and just decent rap music. So
yeah,
it's awesome. I'm glad we did it.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. Shut up, Pookie. No, man. I think that being that hip hop as a genre is 50 years old, I think that a lot of people fail to realize that there are a lot of nuggets of dopeness that exist that get overlooked as this era, or as this genre has grown and developed into what it is currently. And I think it's awesome that we can look at artists like Westside Gunn, Conway, Benny, the original Griselda, right? Makami even, right? And say that they have they're starting to grow out of this lane and making room for artists such as the Umbrella, such as SD Rome
Well,
Streets,
the
you
Ty
know,
dumbest.
Ferris,
the
UFO
dump, yeah,
Steve.
Ty Ferris, absolutely, Jay Nice,
Yep.
goddamn it, Rush, all these new people that are coming in, Mondo, all these
Kane and
people.
Rim.
Yeah, come on, man. We can keep talking about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Starker,
Yes.
YL. There's so many new names that exist. I feel like people need to really appreciate that this culture is currently evolving and staying relevant to the people that are truly searching for something that is dope. They're going to find it. You're going to find it. It's here. It exists. And this episode, use it as homework. Use it as something to go back a couple years and be like, oh shit, yeah, I did miss that. Oh, I didn't even realize that Freddie Gibbs was making this music. I didn't even realize that Boldy James had albums before the Alchemist albums or before his Griselda
That is
projects.
Alchemist. I believe that is all produced by Alchemist. My first chemistry straight is all
My
produced by
first
Alchemist.
chemistry
Man.
set is, but even then, now if you're going back to that Mass Appeal era, you're going to find out about Wretch. You're going to see all these other people that have been getting busy and doing dope shit. And they haven't ever not been doing dope shit. People are out here and have been out here making it happen and putting on for the culture. And it's all off of the strength and off of the love of this hip hop thing, man. So I'm just happy that we took the time to really, and shout out Big Boy too, man, because Big Boy's another dude that I feel like we've touched on his contributions, but he's another dude that coming from Atlanta, he's put on and he stayed true to trying to just be a dope rapper. And there's a lot of people out here who are just trying to be dope rappers. Go find them. Search for them. They're there. They have tons of catalog that you can dig into. Some shit might be dope. Some shit might be trash. It's okay. Find it. Find what you like, but never think that hip hop has died. Hip hop has not died. Hip hop is 50 years old for a fucking reason, man, and it ain't
That's
going
right.
nowhere. Hip hop gonna make it to 100 years old. I promise you that. I promise you that. We're not gonna embrace no motherfucking blip, blop, beat, bopes, and all that bullshit. Please know that. That ain't never gonna happen. The pure culture is always gonna exist. And it's gonna evolve, but it's never gonna embrace none of that fucking bullshit. So as long as we keeping that focus on here, it's you can always find some music. Go back to the 80s, go back to the 90s, go back to the 2000s, 2010s, 2020s. You're gonna find some shit,
Quality
man.
music all the way through.
It's music. You gonna find some shit. Like don't get us started on talking about the 80s. We didn't even
And
talk
we're not
about the
down
80s.
with the bleep blops.
We're not down. But yeah, we're not down. We're not down with sounds and noises, fam. We're never gonna be down with sounds and noises.
I'm down with I'm down with sounds and noises.
No, you're not.
Front. I like
Shut
it.
up,
I'm down.
Lukey.
I like a lot of different stuff. Being a weird guy myself, I like a lot of different stuff. So
you're lying, Lukey.
Hip hop is always subjective. You know what I'm saying? Do I have to talk about Raven Simone again?
Full circle.
No, don't do it. We got the message.
We get it. We get the message, Lukey.
Word. Raven fucking Simone. So
fuck Raven Simone.
In ending, I like to say this. Just because I don't like it, don't mean you can love it. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
But
that's right.
At the same time, that stuff is definitely in the past. It's good music. Stay here in the future with us right now. There's a lot of good stuff out. There's a lot of bad stuff. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you come on here and you find some good stuff. One of the reasons why we do this show is to get to know the artists. So you get to know them better and then you might like their music more. Whenever you meet somebody or talk to somebody, you always are at a show and you think, they're cool. It makes you like them. You know what I'm saying? It might like the music a little bit better. But at that time, it was a weird time, a transition, and there'll be another transition again from, it was 2003, it's 2002, that's 20 years ago.
Just don't give up, man. Don't give up.
There's another transition happening right now.
Absolutely.
Who knows? There's no CD players in those Teslas. So boom. There is you plug your phone up, download the stuff on your phone. There's Bandcamp. There's different ways to access this media. Yeah. The stuff has not been Mandela affected. It's still there. The album by Out of Sight, found it on SoundCloud. I didn't think it existed. I thought maybe I was just bugging. I found it on SoundCloud. There's didn't talk about Rare Chandeliers by Action Bronson. That's an album right
Action
there.
Bronson, man.
Might be no skips. There's a lot of dope music out there that we didn't even get to. But that's why we're saying there's a lot of stuff out there. You just have to find it. One of our jobs as being on this podcast is being a segue for you to find this music.
That's what we're here for.
Facts.
There you go. Whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you might like what makes me shit might make you fart. You know what I'm saying? But we appreciate your time to watching this shit. Go back. I am not making a list and putting this. I am not typing up all this shit and putting it on the fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not typing all this shit. Word. Just listen to it. Write it down. Yeah. But start with Joe Budden. We'll see you next week on the Abyss Podcast. Wow.
Peace.
Wow.